I have responded, but till this moment, I have not heard back from her. I followed up with a call,
Yeah.
and she said she will get back to me. And the other one that actually called me told me, yeah, for now they've not they are yet to start the project, so they are putting me on a wait. So that's where I am currently.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for sharing. So I'm sure if the first people, if probably when they go through all of their processing, but possibly they may call you back, but please don't stop. And hopefully today's session increases your chances. And yeah, but most importantly, I didn't see your project. So you didn't send across that project post the conversation we had. And the danger in that is, even if the first job is ready to go ahead, do you have what it takes to milk that opportunity, or we're just going to throw that opportunity in the bin? That's the most important question I want us to keep asking ourselves. Beyond the fact that you're waiting to get called by a recruiter, when they call you today, do you actually know what to say to them? So please, Elijah, if you could send it across, that'd be good. The email that we shared on Monday highlighted the fact that everyone should please send across their project. Please send it across. The truth is, when they call you, for every interview, start this way. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your experience. Walk me through your journey in the last 6 years as a business analyst. What has interested you about this position? What motivated you to apply for this position? Literally, oftentimes starts like that. The follow-up question is usually, well, I can see that you've worked on several, interesting initiatives. Can you walk me through the last project that you worked on? Can you walk me through the most challenging initiative that you've worked on? So that's like 60% of the interview. Trust me, you jinx the first two, the rest of the interview is simply a joke because they don't have context, they don't know who you are, they simply don't see you as a valuable candidate or as a prospect, as someone they can work with. So it's not just to throw out applications. What do you have to tell them when that application manifests? I always say to people, what you do in your waiting period is extremely important. There's lots of jobs out there that can go around. If you all want 10 jobs, everyone on this call, if you want 10 jobs, there's plenty to go around. But the biggest challenge or the biggest problem is if we're just sitting around waiting, well, maybe luck is going to happen. They will call me. Yes, at some point, they will call you. But when they call you, are you actually ready for them? Are you ready to grab that opportunity that presents you, or you're ready to trash it in the bin? The truth is, they ask you those first two questions, you're not coherent, or they just can't grab the objective of the things that you've worked on. Out of courtesy, they'll go ahead with the interview, but they already made up their mind. Most recruiters make up their mind in like the first 90 seconds when you open your mouth. If in that 90 seconds, it's like a pitch. Of course, they know that you can't tell them about your entire experience, right? But they want you to use that opportunity to say, okay, let me hear what Tosin has got. I want to see what vibe does he have? Who is this person? If in 90 seconds, 2 minutes, I can't grab anything. Typically, they have a notepad, they make notes. If you've all the things you said, they can't take a note of anything. It's simply a joke. So please, guys, it's important. We're ready to walk through your project with you. That's extremely important for us. Your project and your introduction, which we call the pitch, the elevator pitch. Extremely important. Now that I think we have more people on board, I think we may get started. All right, so who is Debbie? Debi. Guys, if you could please turn on your camera, that would be really good. That would be amazing. So for context, in case you haven't seen the email or in case you didn't have the time to read the email, today's session is solely focused on one thing, which is how do we get our resume to a human table? Now, for context, if you do not know, your resume, when you send out your application, it doesn't instantly go to a human being. That's not the first stage. So it's like there's a life cycle of every application that you go through. And the reason is because most organizations, even the small to medium organizations, simply do not have time to look at over 200 applications that comes their way, or in some cases 300, in some cases 500. Some of us, they check LinkedIn, you would see often they tell you 700 applicants or 600 applicants. They simply don't have the time to sort through or filter through all the applications. So they have systems in place, they have software in place, helping them streamline this process. And it's called the applicant tracking system, otherwise known as the ATS. Now, the ATS is not your enemy, okay? So it's simply doing its job. It's also there to enhance efficiency for recruitment processes, so people are not killing themselves just trying to look through resume. Now, what the ATS does is it ranks and filters out every resume and matches it against the dynamic value that they've put onto the system. Now, every organization have got different types of this tracking system, but the whole point is it ranks, filters, and closely see, does this resume align with with our criteria for this job? Now, if yours doesn't meet the certain level that they've put onto the system, you automatically get trashed into the bin, and then you get the annoying, unfortunately, we went with another candidate. Sometimes, if you notice, I don't know if it has happened to some of you guys before, you lodge an application in like seconds, like before you even blink, you're getting that rejection email like ASAP, like no one's even. So it's because your resume is not optimized. Your resume doesn't have what they're looking for. Do you understand? It's just like when you go to a store, for example, let's say you go to Kohl's and you're trying to buy, what's that popular Nigerian spice? Locust beans, for example. You're new in Australia, you're going to Kohl's, you're looking for locust beans, no one has told you. You search everywhere. You search all there. Sorry guys, I'm looking for locust beans. The lady tells you, of course, they'll be like, sorry, I haven't heard that before. What do? You leave because it doesn't meet your requirement. It's the same thing with the ATS. You don't have what the ATS is looking for, it dumps you as not qualified. So we want to ensure that as much as possible, we are optimizing our resume to actually pass the message. Now, is it fair or is it not fair? That's not the most important thing now. The most important thing is, how do I ensure that my resume does not get lost in the ATS maze? What are the things that I need to do? But I genuinely think that it's extremely important that we even know what the applicant tracking system does. So that first stage is it goes into this repository. There's that scanning process that goes on. If we don't have the exact match, it tosses my resume in the bin. And we really want to avoid that. So in this session, we're going to talk through some of the things that we need to avoid. And we're actually going to do a practical session. We're going to leverage some tools that can help us optimize our resume. Now, before I go on, does anyone have any questions or any comment? Are we all clear on the objective of today's session? Are we all clear? Please use your virtual hand if you understand what we're doing in this session. Virtual hand team, or can you guys hear me? All right. Thank you. I can only see one person, which is a bit scary. Silas. All right, good. So again, when we talk about the ATS, now we have an understanding of what the ATS does. We know that it ranks, filters, and compares our resume to the job listing and the job key search. How do I ensure that as much as possible? Look, I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. Even like you may optimize your resume to T and you may still get the unfortunately, okay? But at least you know that you're making sure that your resume is going to have less rejections. You're going to have less rejection, and you're going to increase your chances of getting a call back. When you get a call back, it means you're in a position to really use all of the strategies and concepts, because truly you have the skills, right? But no one is calling you. So how do you even display the skills that you have? How do you learn? How do you fail and learn? How do you do things differently if your resume is not getting out of the door? That's what we want to do. Now, there are critical things that we need to remember when we want to do keyword optimization. Now, because the way it is every job, we're all familiar with seek.com, right? We're all familiar with seek.com, Indeed, and all of the job platforms. Okay, I see a lot of people nodding. Thank you. So basically, they have the job listing, they have the position description, they have your what we want, who are we looking for, who is our ideal candidate. They have their requirements. Oftentimes it's a copy and paste, but those things, what they have in the listing is what really helps them, is part of those keywords, is what they pop into their system to say, well, we want someone that's got requirement gathering skills. We want someone who has facilitated UAT. We want someone who has got a very, very good knowledge of agile methodology and waterfall methodology. We want someone who's very proficient in working on data migration project. We're really looking for someone who is good with writing investable user stories. So they put all of those things there and they feed those keywords, those key things, those core things that they're looking for into the tracking system. So what we're looking for now is, how do I ensure that I create an ATS friendly resume? That's where your power of keywords comes in. So specific words or phrases that employers have popped into their job listing is our focus. Now, there are different steps to which we can do this, right? But I really want you to keep this in mind. Your keyword search is not just the pop it inside the resume and not make a meaning of it, right? We're going to get into that, but keep in mind, keyword research is extremely important. You can use ChatGPT to do that as well, but I'll talk about that. Now, we've shared tools like jobscan.co for resume analysis, because again, the world, there's so much technology advancement. Everything that I'm going to talk about today, you have tools that can help you. Like, you're not going to be the one just thinking about, oh, what's the powerful keyword in this job listing? What are the keywords? Like, you don't have to determine that. All you need to do is know that you need to optimize your resume for success. So you're not going to be doing all the heavy lifting yourself. But please remember, keyword research, key. You need to use those critical words at least 2 or 3 times naturally in your resume. And we're going to demo that. When I say naturally, I mean, make sure it makes sense. It doesn't make sense when you're talking about, oh, you've manage project scope using agile ceremonies and facilitating UAT. Like, that's not a coherent sentence. That doesn't make sense to anybody. So it's not, because there are lots of smart ATS out there. If you just whack in the keywords just to get by, it will spot you and still trash the resume in the bin. Again, please mirror the PD and not copy and paste. I think someone shared their resume earlier on this week, and they've literally just copied what they had on Seek onto their resume, all in the name of optimizing. I'm assuming. I've just seen the resume. We actually haven't given feedback to the person, but please, that is dangerous. Mirror the position description, not copy and paste the position description. You couldn't have possibly worked on exactly what they're describing in their job listing, right? So you don't want to just copy and paste. Again, this last one I'm going to touch on is extremely important. When we say keyword match, it's literally keyword match. Analytical skills is different from strong analytical skills. Strong stakeholder management skills is different from stakeholder management. They're 2 different things. So you want to ensure that you're using those exact keywords. And I'm talking about your technical skills now, your technical skills and your soft skills. Very key. So if the job says excellent communication skills. You don't want to say communication skills because they probably pop into the system that exact phrasing, that metric to say we don't just want someone that's got communication skills, but we want a quality candidate with excellent communication skills, because you're going to require that when you're engaging with your respective stakeholders on that project. So again, when we're talking about keyword optimization, it has to be the exact word, not a lookalike. It has to be the same as you have on the resume. So that's extremely important. Now, so you can, this one, you can leverage ChatGPT aside Jobscan. So this is like a two-step approach to say, okay, I'll specifically look for keywords according to what we've got on this job listing, and I don't really want to do the heavy lifting myself. You can take it to ChatGPT to help you. And I've just listed the steps. So you copy and paste the job description to ChatGPT. You prompt it to identify maybe 5 top keywords from the job description. You copy and paste it from Seek. And I've just put a little bit of a little phrase in here to say, could you please identify the top 10 keywords and skills from this job description for a senior business analyst? Note that if you don't prompt ChatGPT very well, it's not going to give you the desired value. So I've just put an example of how you can prompt it. And this is to say, this is just another layer to what Jobscan can do all of these things for you. But if you want to be extra, which was my very first question before a lot of people joined, how bad do you want this? You need to ask yourself that question. And perhaps we need to do that exercise. Please pop it in the comment section. On the scale of 10, how bad do you actually want to become a business analyst? Because at the end of the day, it all boils down to your mindset. I see it like we've had a couple of people come onto the training, not specifically to get a job. They've just come onto the training because they just wanted to upskill, right? Or because they just really want to learn about business analysis, planning, business considerations, and things like that. But I believe that a lot of us on this call today, we want to become a business analyst. Let me see you in the comment section on how badly you actually want this job. Because if you want this very badly, you'd be doing every single thing in your power to get your resume out there. Some people are not applying, some people are applying, but not applying well. They are wasting time, wasting resources. So it's extremely, extremely important. Ask yourself, how bad do I want this? I said this story time on time. When I knew that it was time for me to upskill, I went on leave. Look, you cannot sacrifice time for this and not see the result. We've seen it time and time. You sacrifice time, you tell yourself, I'm tired of what I currently do. It's time for me to make a change. It's going to happen. Look, acknowledging all of our, amazing, beautiful stories and things going on in our lives, right? I know that there's a lot of things going on. I'm just trying to say that you take 10 steps forward and then you take 200 steps backward. It makes the journey super hard. It makes it super hard because even you get stressed and you're like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm not getting any result. Now, once you have an answer to that question of how bad you want this, note that ChatGPT can help you with your keyword research on the layer of what jobscan.co will also do for you. So you can copy and paste, like I said, to help you identify the top keywords. So that way, those top keywords. Jobscan as well will give you some tips on the keywords. That Jobscan will actually highlight it, and we're going to demo that very shortly. But I really thought it would be good for me to explain exactly what the point of doing this is. I know that it is stressful. I know that it takes time. But really, you do this well, you get the result. I was talking to one of our students, was that on Monday? Yes, that was on Monday. A couple of you guys probably saw the news on Slack of the lady in the UK that got a job with one of the big fours, Accenture. Now, this job didn't just come, it's not just your typical role. It came with visa sponsorship worth over £7,000. She said something. She said, one thing that I've learned on my journey is that when you're very persistent and you keep believing in yourself and you don't stop, it is achievable. She said, Tayo, I do 3 applications per week. That's 21. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 times 4, that's 84. Yeah, am I getting the math right? Yes. So she said, I do 84 applications per month. She said it got to a point where she's not just applications. She said, I optimize my resume. I see her on Jobscan. That's why I say I see everybody. I see her on Jobscan. I optimize my resume. It got to a point where recruiters would call me and say, nah, you've got a very good resume. Are you willing to, come for an interview? She said, I would ask them, are you giving me sponsorship? Do you have sponsorship on the table? If they say no, she says, I'm sorry, there's no point attending the interview. So she does 84 quality applications in 1 month. Except there's something else in the matter. There is no way, at least not one, there's no way a recruiter won't call you. With 84 quality applications in the market, there's absolutely no way. And that's actually, someone that went through the journey. Look, I spoke to this person in January this year because she does internship, and kudos to her, very, very smart lady. She's one of the people that I know that stuck through to the internship program at Justin Solutions, always showed up, even though she lived in the UK, showed up, worked on a project, delivered. She was part of the people that delivered the uplift of the Sync Skills website and the Africa platform that we're currently building. Always showed up. And when she told me that, I'm like, it's actually good to hear this from someone else is also going through the journey. 84 quality applications in a month was what she did. Now, ending up with such a big, massive offer is like absolutely mind-blowing for me. So I'm really just trying to encourage you guys, like, you do this well, there's no way they won't call you. All you need to do is focus on 3 quality applications. Quality, 21. You do that consistently. That means you've thrown out 84 quality applications. It would be impossible for you not to get at least 1 call. No, I thought I saw did you?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that she didn't reject it from the get-go. I mean, the interviews. She used the interview to sharpen her skills, right? Learn more. But when she had learnt and refined her story, and she could do the interview without so much preparation, she then became selective, right? And started to choose the one she wants to attend. So for you, don't just say, okay, if I don't know, some of you might have some visa thing. Don't just decline. Some interviews are good for learning and sharpening your interview skills and getting sharper in how you respond and telling your story. So that is important for you to note. It is strategy. But like Kaya has said, if you do quality application, you're gonna get the result. It's as simple as that. Like even village people cannot stop you because they can't catch 84, 80, like 100 applications. I would not say 3, I would say more than 3, 5 minimum a day. But if you're busy and all of that, I'm sure you have 1 hour somewhere in your 24 hours to do that application, especially if it's 10 over 10. I want this job like crazy. Thank you, Tyra.
Thanks, Noah. So, I liked her the fact that every interview that came our way, even though, like to Noah's point, even the ones that didn't offer sponsorship at the very beginning, she used that to own her skills. She's someone that she just decided, I'm going to use this opportunity to learn. And that really spoke for her when it was time, which speaks to the fact that you need to be prepared. You need to be optimized. The same way you're optimizing your resume, you also need to keep optimizing yourself. It is absolutely of no use if you've optimized your resume, done this amazing work, but when they call you, you're not in a position to latch on that opportunity. All right, so I'm going to keep going. If you've got any questions at any point, please pop it into the meeting group chat and I'll have a look. So basically, again, once we know that we're going to do the keyword search and optimize our resume, ensure that we are naturally infusing the keywords into our resume. There are a couple of non-critical things that can become very critical that I really want us to keep in mind. Now, because the applicant tracking system is like built in a way that it scans your resume to the left, to the right, top to bottom, tries to get the information out. Now, it's going to be extremely dangerous if you've gone ahead and done this massive design to your resume. It's going to make it hard for the system to be able to get to read the information on your resume. Now, if you popped the technical skills or the roles and responsibilities that you performed on the job, you've popped it in a graph and then you've put some color, designed it nicely, the ATS is unable to read that information. Even though you've optimized, there's no access to the system to read that information correctly. So essentially, it's going to trash it in the bin because the ATS can't understand the information that you've popped in there. So it's always very nice, saves you time. Just keep your resume nice layout, good formatting, keep it normal design, sorry, just your normal Microsoft Word design. No need for paparazzi, no need for Canva. You don't need all of those. There's no need to design the resume. The content is key. What we're looking for, your content, the layout, the formatting, have you aligned things properly? Is it easy to read? Because bear in mind, even though your resume goes through ATS, it eventually lands on a human table. So your human recruiter still needs to be able to read your resume. They need to understand it. Now, the ATS is not sensitive to the number of pages, but you want to be extremely cognizant of the fact that it's still going to go to a human table. So if as after the ranking, right, they've got 5 resumes. Now I've got mine 7 pages resume, right? ATS has picked me because it's 7 pages. The human recruiter that's going to look at it is going to be like, oh my goodness, 7 pages. I'm going to put that at the bottom of the backlog. Let's look at let's look at Diana's resume. It's just 2 pages. Let's call Diana first. And let's see if Diana doesn't do well, then we go to the 7-page resume, something like that. Of course, I'm taking assumptions there, but we always want to err on the side of caution. Like we always want to be extremely careful. Don't overload your resume all in the name of, oh, I need to whack in all the keywords. So you have to be very careful. Ensure that you're not putting any information in the header and the footer because that's dangerous. If it's in the header or the footer, again, ATS may not necessarily have the capability to read that information or pass that information, which again is counterproductive for us. So you always want to ensure that you have your contact information. Please, you don't need your full address, 34 Oxley Street, Melbourne, Victoria 430, all that jazz. You don't need it. At the very bare minimum, you just need your suburb postcode and the city. That's it. You don't need the number, like your street number or the unit number. It's too much information. What they're really looking for is, okay, are you in the city? What's the postcode? That would be a more valuable information. There's no need to say reference available on request or any of those things. There's absolutely no need. It's a waste of time, waste of space. Please delete that information from your resume. Recruiters oftentimes they won't, referees are not the first thing that they ask for. They go through all of the necessary checks and process first, and then they'll ask you because they also know that you need to inform your referees, first of all. So you hear them say things like, please let your referees know that they would receive this message, or if in the case that they intend to call, which is quite rare these days that they call your referees. Oftentimes they just send an email or send the XREF checks for them to fill, but they would typically request from you and also let you know that you should let your referees know. But in saying that, I've seen a situation where someone's resume has got into a human table and they've asked them to modify their resume to include the reference check, but appreciating that that's already with a human being. So they're already reviewing it and requesting for information as per their request. Elijah.
Yeah. Thank you, Tayo. So I just want to share something with us. Um, it's as regards recruiters. So on LinkedIn, I got a message from this recruiter. So he said he liked my background, and he said, can we have a call? And I should give him time for we to have the call. I responded and gave him time. And he called me the next day and we talked about my background. Oh, he said, yes, there's a project in Hobart. And after the whole discussion, he now said something that really touched me, but it didn't really touch me, but I was able to defend it. He said, why is everybody that is working with sync skills looking for a job? I saw a lot of people with, sync skills looking for a job on LinkedIn. And I said, well, for me, I work with sync skill as a part-time business analyst. And when we have projects, I am being called on board to work. And currently, we have a project we're working on. And he said, okay. And so from there, I knew maybe he has gone through, he has had calls with, some team members, So I don't know. Is there a way we can just, change the name? Because on LinkedIn, I see some of the team members using O2 Hero and, some of us using Sync Skill.
So why do you have sync skills on your profile? That's the minor details that we talk about. What are we supposed to have on our profile? Justin Solutions. That's the software development company. We've given you templates, we've given you coaching and everything. That's on you. Really. Synski is a
Yeah.
training company. It's clear on our website. We say it because if you go on Synski, you see that we're a training provider company. Anybody that is using Synski in their resume, that's on them. Because it's clear. We've told you what you need to put on your resume. Justin solution. And if a recruiter tells you why is everybody looking for a job, whatever, right? How does that add value? Do you have work for me or not? He's the only one out of how many people. So, but to correct your own mistake, just fix it by changing to Justin Solution. Justin Solution has a clear mandate, right? Software development. We're showcasing our tech in parliament. Hey, we are big, right? And it's fine. Who cares? So if Google lays off 1,000 staff, right, in 2023, those people should retire and not look for job. That statement does not carry substance, but you will not be able to defend it if you don't have information. If somebody tells me that, I'll just defend it, and it will look ridiculous asking that question. That's the fact. But you don't have that context, you will not be able to defend it. We are doing everything methodically. Like I can go to Prime Minister and defend what we are doing. There are many companies that do what we are doing. We are not doing
Sorry.
anything illegal. So if
Yeah.
somebody tells you why is
No,
Sinskis, yeah, sorry.
sorry. No, no, it's not Sync Skills, it's just in solutions. Yeah, because I just, reconfirmed on my LinkedIn and resume, I have just in
So
solutions.
so if Google lays off 1,000 people, I ask you today, what should they do? They should retire.
No,
So what would they do?
they'll look for more
So what
opportunities.
should be your response to them? Your response is weak. That's why you're feeling like you're just in solution. So many people are looking for job. Yes, because they are looking for job, right? That's the deal. We are looking for job because we want to look for job. Simple. Google, all these tech companies, they lay off people in thousands. Like they are looking for job. So will a recruiter now say, why are thousands of people looking for a job in Google? Does that make them a bad company or do something illegal? Know your journey, right? Know
See,
your journey, please.
let me tell you as well that the truth is that recruiter didn't really mean that why are so many people in Jassy Solution looking for jobs. He really meant why are so many Black people looking for jobs. That's what he meant. So the thing is, you need to really know your story. Because if you are not confident about your story and you don't know your story,
You form
then
Yeah.
you're not even going to be able to pass this stage, right? So, and that's the first thing that's what I've always emphasized. The first thing is, before even understanding your elevator pitch and all of these different things, know your story. In fact, if possible, write your story down. Say it over to yourself every day until you believe it.
You know, it's very interesting because I feel like oftentimes, and Mr. Olakna, I can see a hand up, I'll get to you very shortly. It's very easy for us to think like as Black people, or maybe it's because I'm Black, or maybe it's because it's sync skills. Look, I have a lot of people, at least I work with, let me say maybe like 10 people from Westpac. They recruited in my company all at the same time from Westpac. They all came from Westpac. So you see someone from Westpac online. So Westpac, ex-Westpac. They have a committee like, oh, you're ex-Westpac. Like it's something that happens time on time, but often, so it's all part of, maybe it's because I'm transitioning, or maybe it's because it's sync skills. That's why you're feeling bad. Let's say you were working with Google, for example, and then the person says, oh, why is everybody from Google? Wouldn't you tell the person that, are you, like, what do you mean? Why is everyone like, do you get? So there's a blend of,
It's the same thing
No,
with
Tayo,
us as well.
I'm not, sorry,
At
Tosin,
Mata,
I'm not,
Queensland Health. Hold on, Elijah. At Mata, Queensland Health practically take all our employees.
yeah,
Recruiter at Queensland Health can go and say, oh, why is everybody at Mata looking for a job? And it's the same way that a lot of employees come from Queensland Health to Mata as well. You see a lot of people say, oh, you're ex-Queensland Health. Oh, you're ex-Queensland Health in our organization. And it's a normal thing, right? The recruiter has probably just seen like 3 different people of color apply for a job from the Ascent Solution, and is already profiling them.
yeah,
That's what's happening here.
yeah. Thanks, Tim. Let's not derail Mr. Olakunle. Oh, sorry, Elijah, I'll get to you now, Mr. Olakunle.
So after Mr. Kun, we should just focus on what we're doing here. Please be confident in what you're doing. You're applying to job. It is a legal thing. Forget all the noise. If somebody say why are people, just block out that. Focus on what we're doing. Learn the strategy and go and attack the market. So please, yeah, Mr. Olakunle.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something not from the company, just from the other side, to say that, most of these job applications, we're not going beggarly to look for the jobs. You find some people, they get to intimidate you even when you come for an interview. For some of them, if they're trying to play a card that is not nice to you, you also be brutish about it. You can tell them off. It is not the only application that you apply for. For somebody to say people of color or from a particular company, why are they all looking for jobs? You can work with 2 places. You can work with Google and work with skills. You can work with, the company and work with another one. So you just need to have to stand your ground and just let him put some respect on your name. That's the truth. Thanks.
All right, thank you for sharing that, Elijah.
So, Elijah, please be proud to represent Jassy Solution on LinkedIn. Maybe you don't know. We need to show you. We're a big company here in Australia, right? And if people are wanting to leave, tell the recruiter that is the CEO that is causing, is on the CEO. That's why people are wanting. Let him come and meet me and say, why are your people leaving and looking for a job? And I'll answer him, right? So it's not all about you. Just that's like on a lighter mode.
sorry, no, it's not as if I'm intimidated. I wasn't intimidated, and
You said we should change. We should maybe change our name, or what did you say?
No, I didn't say we should change. I said I saw on LinkedIn some team members are using O2 Hero.
That's
Now,
our formal name.
Okay, but the call actually yielded a good result because the CGI company actually reached out to me. The company he referred me to reached out to me. That was the woman I told you. The woman sent me a mail to send to give more details as regards my visa, status, which I did. And she said I followed up with a call, and she said she'll get back to me. So it's not as if I was intimidated. I just, want to give it as a feedback.
Yeah, no, thank you for highlighting it, Elijah. Though, yeah, probably got the message wrong initially, but yeah, that's all good.
So I was distracted. So it's good news or bad news? Which one?
It's good news. By the grace of God, it will be a good news.
This man, I will flog you because your presentation of like information is just, you want to share good news in that way. Elijah, please don't let me fight you.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry, Elijah. Thanks for sharing. If you're confused about Zero to Hero Tech Consulting, that was the previous name, and you would see it on the website formerly Zero to Hero Tech Consulting, but even that is not a big deal. So thanks for sharing. And so what's the next step for this one? What's the next step, Elijah? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So I was asking, so what's the next step for this particular job?
So the next step for the job, the woman actually reached out to me and said she will she after asking for my visa status, I responded and I followed up with a call, and that was last week, and she said she would definitely reach back to me, which she hasn't till this moment. So if I don't get to hear from her, I'll still, send a mail.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Before you send that mail, make sure you sent your project across. So when she calls you, you're ready and good to go. All right, so cognizant of our time, let's go. I'm going to move very quickly now. So a few things that you can do again to stay ahead. Of course, we've talked about the keywords. We've talked about you being ensuring that you're putting the specific keywords or phrases as per the job description. Now you want to use standard fonts. Okay, there's no need to go. I know I like to use a lot of fancy fonts when I'm doing my work, but for your resume, you just want to keep it nice and short. You want to use your Times New Roman, you want to use your Courier, you want to use your Arial. So you want to ensure that you're not overly designing and using calligraphy font that is going to be really hard to read, especially when it gets to the human table. Again, the ATS is not sensitive to PDF, so you can use doc, DOCX or PDF, whatever. And you want to ensure that if the job title says senior business analyst, you want to try and put that on your resume as well as the header as your job title, or business analyst. Again, it just helps with the keyword search. We're looking for a business analyst. The ATS is saying, okay, this is a business analyst resume and not an IT support person or technician resume. Another thing that I wanted to call out is I've seen a lot of resume that's come out for review where people are popping in disability support worker, aged care support worker, something, care worker, all this irrelevant job title or jobs that you've had or past experience. Please do not pop in any irrelevant experience. It's just like if you a doctor, like you're looking for a doctor now, and the doctor is, you're seeing their resume, the resume is telling you, well, plumber, technician, won't you run away as well? You're looking for a doctor. So please, let's not put in anything that is not relevant to business analysis on your resume. It is simply a waste of time. Again, I've seen this as well, sequencing. So don't start from make sure it's in reverse chronological order. So your most recent experience is at the top, and then you work your way down, not 2017 at the beginning. It's like, please, that is incorrect. You want to ensure that you have the company name, the city and the state, the job title, the start and end date. Now, let me call out the start and end date with the month and the year. The reason for this is because the system, again, is trying to identify the number of years of experience that you have. Now, if you haven't done this correctly, the system is unable to identify if you've got experience or not. Now, if you're looking for 4 years of experience, but then you've popped in, maybe you've just said August in your resume, there's no year. So there's nothing to feed the ATS with. There's no calculation on your resume that provides the right information that is actually required. So please ensure that you have your start date and your end date in the month year format. So June 2022 to August 2025, something like that. So it's clear, there's no need to put in June 15 to August 31. That date is not required. Like that low level detail is not required. I've talked about the sensitivity to resume length, but you want to be cognizant because at the end of the day, your resume is still going to a human table. Now, before we get into the showcase, before we actually get into using, going into Jobscan, which is one of the tools that we've shared with you guys, I want to remind us that your resume is not a one-size-fits-all. The fact that you've optimized this resume for a job with RACQ does not mean that that same resume will work for Mata. Does not mean that that same resume will work for HPC, right? I mean, you may be closer and the work that you need to do on that resume may not be as much as what you would, ordinarily do, but your resume is a living document. So you always want to ensure that it is optimized to what the job listing is looking for. If you want to make jollof rice and you start popping in fried rice ingredients, are you going to get jollof rice at the end of the day? No, you're going to end up with Joe fry or something of sort. So you want to ensure that you are actually doing the right things. You're optimizing your resume as per the job description. How many of us is at our hand dirty on with the Jobscan? Anyone in the room? Let me see. Please use your virtual hand if you've ever used the Jobscan. If you've ever used it. Okay, Mark, thank you. Yeah. So I've only got one person. Fatima, which one are you using? Because I certainly cannot see you on hers one. Do you have your own?
No, the same one.
The one that I shared?
Yes.
When did you start?
I've been using it. I even used it 2 days ago with Emmanuel. We filled out.
Post the call that we had?
Yes, after
Okay.
we used it 2 days ago to apply for a job.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I could see Emmanuel there anyway, but I haven't. I'll search for you. Okay, Linda, is that from today?
I've been using it on and off, even from last week, the week before.
All right. Okay. So we're going to reuse it and see where we're getting it wrong. There's lots of really nice features on that on the Jobscan now compared to what we had before. So the number of people using it is very, very low. So I can only see 2, okay, 3. So just 3 people have been using it. Again, we're going to go to seek.com now, and we're going to try and optimize a resume. So we're just going to pick a job and try and see what are the things that we can do to make the resume better. All right, does anyone have any questions? Do we understand the role of the ATS and what the job at hand and what we need to do? All right, Linda, is that a question?
Yeah. When you're talking about the ATS calculates the number of years of experience you've got, are you then saying that if I apply for a role that's requiring 8 years of experience, yet in my resume I've only got, say, 3 or 5, it will not go through?
Well, not necessarily. Sometimes it's not that critical, but it's just like if oftentimes they're looking for 5 years of experience, and your resume only says 2 to 3, because most jobs really they stay within that mark, like 5 years. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You don't, like, the number of years is not something for you to go and change all the time. They always have like a variable. So between 5 to 8, or you would see some say between 8 to 10. What I'm trying to say is it is not critical, but in the context of what I was explaining with the start date and the end date, it is dangerous if it is not well represented. So the ATS really cannot calculate the number of years of experience that you have. So they may have popped 6 or 7 on the job listing. If yours one says 3, but then you have all the other criteria. So it's percentage based, right? So just maybe the number of years is 1, probably gives you -5 or something. But then if they've programmed the system to only filter 80 or 85%, and you're already sitting on 80, like you already have good number, then it wouldn't really matter at that point in time. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's really a game of numbers. It's a game of numbers. Fatima, was that an old hand up that you had, or is this a hand up question?
It's the old one. Let me put it down.
Thank you. All right. Before I get into the actual doing, I just wanted to again show us some of these tools that I've used. I know that they're very useful. So the first one is Udly. This one helps you because again, one part is to have your resume optimized. The second part is to be ready for when they call you. So in case you're probably, you're shy, or of course, 2 days, we offer 2 days of resume preparation, but Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sunday, or on days that you're unable to attend the resume prep, Udly is your friend. So it helps you to actually practice interview questions, real business analyst questions. So it's an AI tool. So what you need to do is just type, what do you need this for? Do you want to use this to improve your communication skills? Are you struggling with using a lot of filler words? Is that something that you'd like to improve? Udly is very good. It helps you to stay leveled, stay calm. It will give you some tasks. It will grade you and tell you how you can do better. Same thing for interviews. So it's going to ask you real business analyst interview questions, and it will time you as well. So you see yourself, it's a video chat. So you see yourself actually talking, answering the questions, and then post your answer. It will grade you and tell you, this is how you've done. This is where you need to improve. I think it's a really valuable tool for us. Everyone, I will share this slide afterwards, so you can click through to the slide and just access it. It's really, really good. It will ask you follow-up questions as well. So it is so intelligent that if it says something around maybe how have you managed conflicting requirements, it will ask you a follow-up question. And I think that's one of the things that I really love about it. Again, to build your communication skills, to build your confidence, to build your ability to speak confidently, doing away with lots of filler words, lots of all those words. This will really, really help you to get to stay structured. And you can practice this with your elevator pitch as well and your project ideas. So you may have it in front of your screen while you're practicing. And I've said this time and time, record your project. Anything that you do repeatedly. I really love the phrasing, perfection in repetition. Anything you do consistently and constantly, naturally, it comes to you. Naturally, you know it. It becomes harder when you do something on Monday and then another, 15 business days, you carry it again and then you leave it and then drop it and come back. So it makes it really hard. Another one is Final Round AI. I think this one may ask you to pay. It's Copilot. So I don't know, but this one as well, it's like an interview assistant tool, but in the hierarchy, Udly is still my go-to. I think Udly will still give you some leeway for you to use it without having to pay. Jobscan, again, which is the tool that we're going to be using in this session. We'll go on seek.com, try and see how we can optimize a resume, that one of you guys' resume. And then we've got Resume Builder as well. So you can click through these links you can click through these links for you to see some of the things that are spoken about. Does anyone have any question? Any question to what we've shared? Any comment? Anything anyone would like to share before I go into?
I have another question.
Sure.
Some of these jobs, they ask for experience with industry-specific systems. Do you have any advice on how we can go about it? Like they would ask for an ERP that's energy-based or construction-based that we have no idea about. So, any advice?
I'll take that. That's okay. So they ask for industry-based system. Yeah. So that is why we also don't want people to just automate their job search, because the process of actually applying would help you learn a few more things that are required. So if you see ERP in job 1, you see it in job 4, job 6, job 7, you already know that, oh, it looks like ERP is well. Please, can you mute? Sorry, this is how you quickly know that we're married. Anyway, so you already know that there are a few things that are being requested for, and maybe I need to look into what this ERP system is. Unfortunately, I think that maybe not exactly ERP in our project idea document, but it's something you can Google search. What is ERP? Spend 1 hour and learn about that ERP system. It's recurring, right? In a lot of applications I'm seeing. You spend 1 hour learning that ERP is very important for enterprise organization that want to streamline their process. You understand that. That's enough for you to go to interview and shine. What do? You tailor your resume that you have experience in ERP and go for those opportunity. So that is how you tell. If it's CRM, same thing. If it's another Salesforce, same thing. You do the same thing, the same approach for any job you're applying to. When you see those commonalities, try to invest time to learn it. It's not going to take you more than 1 hour, at least to have overview. Now, we're not going to, like, nobody's asking you to actually know in and out, back and front of all the system, but just know what those systems do generally. Do a bit of research about the different options and all of that. If they get to interview, they will ask you basic questions about it. They might not ask you, but I'm saying worst case, they ask you basic, oh, what's your understanding of ERP, or where have you implemented ERP? You can talk about it because you know what ERP is. You just need to fit it into another project context that you're already familiar with, and you answer the question. I don't know if that makes sense
It
to
does.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
So specific applications should not be the deal breaker. Just invest more time learning, like overview, then fit it into your project context, and then you go and deliver. But optimize your chance to get an interview. Trust me, some of those systems are there. They're not going to ask you in interview. Most interview, they want to check your generalist knowledge, your own experience, and if they specifically say, oh, we want this particular application experience, then you'll be able to still showcase that because you've invested some time to learn a bit about that system, and you can talk about it in interview. And say they even ask you, oh, you tell, oh, yeah, maybe I've not even worked on this project or this application specifically. I've worked on related one, and you talk about it. So those are the kind of tactics you can use.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Linda, that is not an unpopular thing to happen. Okay, so there's been, previous people who are not working. I think Rachel, Lola, they had a lot of this as well, where during job applications, they see some unfamiliar tools, and that was a learning opportunity for them. Like, there's really nothing. So the one thing that you need to keep in mind is you understand the techniques, the concepts, and the framework. Like, your business analysis, like even on the job today, like for example, right? Look, I work in a bank and we still run trainings to teach people on how to use Jira. Like, so oftentimes there's no really expectation for you to know a lot of all of these tools or to be proficient at it. What they're really looking for is, what is your application of the tools? Like, can you talk about it? Can you speak to it? Do you understand the framework? So don't be scared when you see something that you haven't used before. It's an opportunity for you to learn. It's the same concept. You will still do your business analysis work through and through, no matter how complex the system is. The approach is similar. Do you understand? So it is not something that should scare you off or make you feel like, what am I? I don't think I'm qualified for this job. All right, so can you guys see my Jobscan screen? Okay, great, thank you. So, okay, Mr. Olakunle.
I'm just confirming that we can see it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, so team, this is Jobscan, and what does Jobscan do? Jobscan helps you to optimize your resume to include the keyword in the job listing. So it helps you to be very specific in your approach. In saying that, Tayo, go and bring me the position description. Also bring me your resume. Let's compare. Let us see where we're at with this, with your job, with your resume and the position description. Is there a match? Is there a similarity? Is there something that we need to work on? Is there something that we can optimize? Now, Jobscan has really grown. They keep building, which is one of the beauty of technology. So they have a lot of things. I'll just quickly talk us through it. So this is the dashboard. As you can see, there's a lot of things that you can do. It's got some LinkedIn report. It has your page. It has where you can drop your resume. It has the job description. It has your history. So you can come back to see the history of all of the job applications that you've done. And beautifully, you can also search for jobs on it. My only concern with their job feature is that it's a little bit out of date, in my opinion. So I'm seeing 1 month ago. Whereas if you went on Seek or Indeed, you're going to be seeing jobs like 2 hours ago or 3 hours ago, something like that. So for more recent jobs, I advise that you go to seek.com, but Jobscan has got that feature as well, where you can search for a job, as it is. How many of us have got job alerts on our phones? I've set job alert on my phone. Can I see your hand up? Nobody? Oh my goodness, team. Diana, okay. Just one person, all right. When did
I
you
get mails though. I don't know if that counts. Like for new jobs.
Okay, yeah, so that's your job alert. So do you action it, or do you just, or whatever, they sent me another job, good luck? Do you action them, or it's just
Sometimes I check them out and I see if it's something I can apply for. It's not all the time, to be honest.
Okay, speaking of what you can apply for, what's your criteria? Like, how do you measure what you can apply for, cannot apply for?
I'd say something that sits within my years of experience. Like if you're looking for a business analyst with 10 years of experience, that's not me, definitely. If you're I'd say, I don't know, something I can relate to, a job description I could relate to be honest.
The lovely Fatima. I'm doing the calculation in my head of how they've talked about ERP, God forbid, that's not me. They've talked about service now, goodbye, God bless. They've talked about,
to be honest, that is it.
Of course, I'm actually looking at, I'm like putting myself in your brain right now, and I'm actually imagining what you're, they've talked about service delivery. No, I didn't tell us that one in class. Nah, that's not me. They've talked about BPMN 3.0. Nah, they only taught us draw.io. I'm seeing that
Microsoft 360 something. I'm like, okay, we move.
No, please. Is there any other person that is doing that? I know for sure, even if Fatima says she's not doing it, I know that you're probably doing that. Please, let's not do that. Let's not overanalyze. It's like you're literally making a decision for the recruiter. That's what you've done, Fatima. You've decided for them. Let them make that call. You optimize your resume. Like to Linda's question, you've seen something that doesn't quite jump at you instantly. It's an opportunity for you to learn. If you reach out to Rachel and Lola today, those were their strategy. Rachel will actually call Tayo. I've just seen this new thing that they mentioned. What do you think? What's the strategy? Okay, I'll read about it. She'll go and do the research. And to be honest, the job that she's doing today, I forgot what they were doing. It was quite new. She went to read about it and just married her current skills with it. So you can't make that. Don't make that decision for the recruiter. It doesn't sit with you. It is not up to you to decide whether you're fit for a job or not. I appreciate the humility, but please, I don't want that. You see something that is not quite familiar, it's an opportunity for you to learn. You can't say, oh, something is out of remit for you. No. The lady that shared a contract on Monday, she said something which really struck me, is the fact that she saw every interview as an opportunity for her to learn, and she learned a lot. And your mantra in life, you should not be scared of failing. Like, you should never ever be scared of failure. I'm not worried of failure. I'm not scared of failure. As a matter of fact, what scares me is me not even wanting to try. You try, you fail, you learn. You never have to fail again. That's it. So you can't be scared of failure. You cannot make a decision for a recruiter. Don't be that person that decides for a recruiter that you're not good enough. Put the application, optimize your resume. If they've said something that doesn't quite jump at you, like this job right now, what are they saying? They're saying someone that provides business analysis and related includes, process modeling, requirement definition, management, business case development, benefits, all that stuff. You can't make that decision for a recruiter. You have to leave that to them to decide, okay, you've interviewed me, I'm not your person, that's fine. You're not the only job available, but at least every interview that you go for, you would learn something, and that takes you closer to your destination. So please, Fatima and every other person that is doing that in the room, do not make that judgment for a recruiter. Let them be the judge of that. Let them see your resume and say, nah, we don't think Fatima is the right fit, or nah, we think, Fatima is the right. Let them make that decision. Because what you're doing is you're literally limiting your chances. And there's a danger in actually following a template. Trust me, oftentimes what you're seeing is just a template. When you actually attend the interview, they will tell you the real crux of the gist. They will tell you exactly what they're looking for. Sometimes it's a template. I've been on the other side. I've been privileged to, work in a situation where we're actually having more, we're getting more resource on the project, where it's just like, oh, we're just going to put the template. That's not really what we're looking for. It's just a template. It's in the interview. Oftentimes, they will tell you exactly what you're going to be working for. They just have a normal, again, there's no time to go and be tailoring template to what they're really looking for. Disclaimer, not every time, but I'm trying to tell you that you cannot follow a template to T and just make a decision. She said the job that she applied to, if she knew that the job was for a senior business analyst role, she wouldn't have applied. Now, they didn't put senior business analyst in the job listing. When the contract came, she was given a senior business analyst contract. She then said, oh, Tayo, I learned something from there. I will never, ever limit myself to a written template online. She said that if they had written senior business analyst, a job that came with 7,000 sponsorship, that's like pounds, that's 14,000 Australian dollars. If we convert it, I don't know what the conversion rate is right now. But so just imagine that they had put senior business analyst, she has seen business, she would have ignored, not knowing that it's actually something she can do. She went there, they were talking about BPMN, they were talking about user stories, they were talking about difficult stakeholders. Easy peasy, like she said it was an hour conversation that we were chatting. So you cannot make a decision, you cannot make that decision for a recruiter. It is dangerous. It is extremely dangerous, please. Let's keep that in mind.
Thank you. You just shared a powerful story, but I wanted to also share a personal one, right? And some of you might not know, right? When I was actually trying to get a job here, when I came here, I actually faced a lot of issues. You may say, okay, I'm experienced and all of that, but trust me, I faced a lot of issues like some of you are facing, visa issues, right? And why am I saying this? So my visa does not allow me to work in Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, the major cities where you see more opportunities. You will see job opportunities like this. You can do it, but you can't apply because of your visa. Very annoying and painful. But my own job strategy was I'm just going to apply and give you headache for you to reject me. Right? and I'm sharing it, maybe it will help some of you. So it's not like, oh, Noah has it easy in everything. So yeah, I applied to a lot of jobs, face rejection, even with all my skills. I've a lot. I still have archives in emails. I think I've also shared some of my interview effort, right? Years ago that I recorded, and I shared it on Slack a few weeks or months ago. My point here is that the job I currently do, on paper, I'm not supposed to be doing the job because my company is based in Melbourne. I think I've shared that before. My company is based in Melbourne, but I went to the interview. I applied to the job, first of all. The company is based in Melbourne, and as I've said, my visa does not allow me work in Melbourne. I still applied. So when I applied, I did all the interview. Of course, they're in Melbourne. And I negotiated remote work. Right? So my visa allows me to work in regional area and stay work remote. I've never stepped in my company for 1 minute in Melbourne. And I've gotten letter from them agreeing that yeah, my primary place of assignment is my house, in my regional home. What am I saying? If I limited myself and did not apply and just say, well, it's clear, my visa says no, don't apply, then I'll miss out on that opportunity. I've been working there 1 year, 6 months. Now, if I ask them to give me sponsorship, if that was what I want, I am sure they will give me sponsorship because of the value I've added. The point is, like I have said, this job application, sometimes they are just reusing the ones they've used previously. So think about it this way. If a new team in an organization wants a business analyst, they say the hiring manager or the recruiter should go and post ad. They might not have time to be tailoring new things and what they want. They just say, we have one job description before, right? Go and post it. They just post it. Whether that's what you be doing or not, they post it. And to give you stats to back this up, you can check Seek as well, or online article. Many people, at least once they don't, when they see that their CV does not match up to 40%, right? 40, I'm not even talking about 40%. They don't apply to the job. So what I'm saying here is that if your CV matches at least 30%, just apply. Many of these things are templates. All these things you see here are templates. But as I said earlier, if you see something that, oh, you don't know, after you've applied, just go and do a quick research on those things. There's nothing that has not been seen before. You learn 30 minutes, 1 hour, you get the overview. That's all you need. When you get there, you have opportunity to go in depth because there are so many applications that you have to deal with in the tech space. There's the CRM types we have is like countless. You can't learn everything. The ERP systems, you see Microsoft Dynamics 360 and all of that. They are ERP solutions. You see it severally and get intimidated every time instead of you to just, what is this about? Say, let me do research and learn and at least have an overview about it. So the point is, you will never work with all the tools, all the domain specific system, whatever. What you should know is that, yeah, I have the core skills to do this job, and that's what you should be sharpening. That's all. The other things, when you get there, you will learn it on that specific project. So please don't limit yourself. Even if your match only 30%, give it a go. Give them the hard time of telling you no, and you move on. What you tell me no, what will happen? Right? I will not, my life will not change or become worse. Right? You tell me no, yeah, I'll move on. But then if you tell me yes, it can change my life forever. So why would I not want to take that shot? I actually want you to tell me no. At least I will learn from your experience of why you are telling me no. So let's not be scared of failure. Rather, I want to fail so that I learn from that experience for the future. Think about all the people that have actually shared inspirational story. It starts from them telling you, oh, there was this time I failed, then I failed again, then I failed, and eventually I now succeed. But if somebody comes and tell you a story and say, oh, I just got it, I got it, there's no source in there, it's not inspirational. The movie you watch that you cry is when they put scene of sorrow, strife, failure, and that person they work hard or move and transition to success, prosperity. That's what gets you. That's when you get that dopamine hit. But if everything was just rosy, bam, there's no story to tell. Tell your story, shoot that shot.
Thank you. Thanks, Noah, for sharing. Extremely important team. So let's not limit ourselves. It is not your job to make that call. Let the recruiter, let them make the call themselves. You just never know. I never know. So, all right. So in the interest of time, let's get into the crux of the matter. Now I'm on seek.com. I want to believe that we all are very familiar with seek.com. Now there are two types of applications there. So you have this, which is apply. And then you have, I'm looking for like a quick apply. And then you've got this. So team, can I see all the team quick applies in the house? If you're a team quick apply, can I see your and can I see your virtual hand? I just quickly work my resume. There's no depth. I just quickly chuck it inside. Can I see? Please put your hand up if you are mostly team quick apply. Suddenly everyone is quiet. The lovely Uche. Okay. Quick apply team. All right. Who else? I'm assuming the others don't even understand quick apply or not quick apply. You're not even doing any apply, even if it's on quick.
After your video, so I stopped quick apply. After watching that video that you did on the section, I wasn't there, but I watched the video. So
yeah,
after that, I don't bother too much. Only maybe when I'm busy and have time, I can just.
Yeah. All right. So team, what I'm driving at is your main applications should not be solely quick apply. Please, it is dangerous. You're just shooting. It's like you're pouring water in a basket. So quick apply really just keeps your resume in Seek's repository. Whether or not it gets pulled by luck or sometime later in the future, someone's going to pick it up. I'm not saying it is not effective, but it is not the most efficient way of applying. When we say 3 quality applications, minimum, okay, minimum of 3 quality applications, you want to target jobs like this. When you see this apply, and I'm going to do a quick test. So let's open this job in another link, another tab. So it's telling me to sign in. Oh, I'm not signed into Seek yet. Okay, let me sign in. All right, so it's interesting. All right, let me quickly sign in to Seek. Let's hope that I can remember the password.
Tayo is not taking advice. So you're not applying to.
I don't need a job. I'm not in market. I'm not going to market. No, but this is a new browser actually. So this is a new browser. That's why. Let me sign into seek.com. Let's see. So, all right. Saying that I didn't recognize that. So let me stop sharing for a sec and bring my other browser in. So we have got Seek signed in on that one. Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick test, right, of what we're doing today. So we all see what we need to focus on or not focus on when we're applying. Okay, is this signed in? I think this is signed in. Okay, I'm signed out of all of my seat. Just bear me a second. Let me get myself back into seat. So essentially what I'm trying to communicate to us is it is dangerous if your main applications are solely quick applies. What you're doing is you're not shooting for the guns. And I'm going to show us I'm going to show us the difference of where this goes to. Okay. Can you all still see my screen? Can everyone still see my screen, please?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. All right, so, okay, whatever, I'll fix that. Okay, so basically, now, so when you apply to, I'm going to do another test to see the one that I'm looking for. Okay, let's try this one, see where it's going to take me. I don't want anyone to ask me to sign in. All right, great. So we're going to do two analysis now. So this is apply, and this is another, this one is quick apply. So the quick apply one, please take note of the domain. The domain is what I'm sharing. The domain is what I want us to look at right now. So if you look at the domain still says seek.com.au, right? So it is still on Seek site. So this application is going to sit in Seek repository. Recruiters would have access. Recruiters who have onboarded on Seek would have access. They'll try and pull you out and all of that stuff. Now, the big difference is if you checked the quick apply one, which I did with, sorry, the apply. Once you see this apply, this takes you to the company's job portal, and that is what you want to target. I share this story time on time, but I was on maternity leave this time last year, actually. This time last year, I was on maternity leave. I had moved states. I couldn't do my other job in my new state. So of course, I had 6-month maternity leave, but no one's gonna wait 6 months before. So I decided I was gonna go back sometime in October, because again, once it gets to November, December, recruitment slows down because everyone's going on break. So December, January, I knew it was going to be a bit tough in the market because most organizations, they have that Christmas embargo. A lot of people are on break. And I'm looking at everyone with side eye. You need to grab your job before November, December. Everything slows down. Now, we've all lived in Australia for quite a while now. We know that we're entering into a new financial year. Business cases are being approved. Budgets are being approved. A lot of things is currently happening across different companies. They are looking for talent. So you want to ensure that you are positioning yourself in the new financial year to grab your own job in the market. There's going to be lots of jobs right now. Lots of budget that they've left to a site, say, oh, we're going to pick this up in the new financial year, or we're going to start recruitment in the new financial year. A lot of beautiful things from a recruitment point of view does happen this period. So you want to ensure that you are on Seek. Please activate the job listing alert. Be the first to apply. As the job is dropping, you're first on the list. Oftentimes, especially for projects that are in flight and they're looking for resourcing, they will just call the first ones that have the good match. They will call you. So again, you don't want to wait and leave things to luck. In speaking to your 3 quality applications, you want to try and target jobs that have these. Once you see this apply, it's instantly telling you, it is taking you to the company's job portal. And let's do a quick test again, and let's look at the domain. Can you see the domain is different? It's taking me to rscq.talio.net, their career page. So it's taking me to the organization's career page directly. This, my application, if I do it well, if I have a good match, the chances of someone calling me tomorrow is very high because this one's there ready. Actually, do we have someone working with RSCQ? Is it RSCV or RSCQ? I think we have someone working with RSCQ, do we?
This is Queensland. There's Victoria.
Okay, yeah, so the RSCV, yeah. Thank you. So yeah, so we do have someone working in RSCV. So basically what I'm trying to say is you want to target jobs that direct you to the career portal of the organization, and it's only the ones that have the apply. So the apply is meaning we are going to, they've integrated to the job portal. Very important. Now to the exercise that we're going to do today. Back to Jobscan. So I'm here on Jobscan. Tayo is looking for a business analyst role. I'm quite happy. What's the first thing that I do? I want to try and read what the job is looking for. Because if this recruiter calls me, I want to tell the recruiter, oftentimes the person that will call you is probably someone in talent acquisition. They don't have a lot of understanding of business analysis or requirements or any of those things. They just want buzzwords oftentimes. If you're coherent, if you have the right level of energy and you can speak confidently, you'll be good to go. So what I do when I'm applying for jobs is I make sure I read the job description properly. That helps me to speak from a place of understanding when they call me. It also helps me to understand what do I need to put on my resume to increase my chances of getting called for this particular job. So don't just see a job, 150K, looks good, bam, throw in application. That's not good enough. You read it. Don't be so money focused alone and just that they're offering $900 per day. There's no need to read. You need to read it. What is this role looking for? They're saying, they're looking for the role support the delivery of RSCQ's strategic portfolio by providing business analysis and related services to the portfolio of projects. The project work includes, but is not limited to, problem definition, process modeling, requirements definition and management, business case development, benefits definition, as well as supporting work streams such as development, testing, and organizational change management. Now, what are the key responsibilities that they're looking for? Okay, they want someone who has got a good understanding of the life cycle for assigned projects. Okay, they want someone that can spearhead effort on large projects, take accountability for end-to-end outcomes. All right. They want someone that's got good stakeholder management skills, someone that can gather requirements, conduct analysis, and deliver solutions. Okay, so looks good. They are also looking for someone that can proactively identify, assess, and manage risk and issues impacting deliverables. All right, okay. Sounds fair. They're looking for someone that can implement review process to maintain high standard of quality. Okay, what else do they have? They want someone that can actively participate in the BA COP. COP is BA community of practice. It's more oftentimes big enterprises, they have community of practice for their business analysts, sharing knowledge, collaborating with colleagues, and staying abreast of industry trends. This is good. I'm also part of the team in my company as well for the BA COP. We create templates, we standardize EPMO practices, we ensure that, there's lots of good things. It's good ones. So in case they ever ask you in an interview, so, have you ever participated in BA COP? So it's just business analyst community of practice. It's more like a group that standardizes, how we do business analysis in a company. And they always have like different streams of work. They will do knowledge sharing sessions. They have working group template. I'm in the working group template. So like today, for example, I was in a session where we were talking about standardization of writing user stories across the organization and standardization of writing ACs. So, it's how you show value. You always want to put your hand up for things like this when you start working. You don't just want to focus on your project alone. It's always good. So in case they ever ask you, so have you ever been a part of the BA Corp and the companies that you've worked in? You can just, it's a cheap question. Okay, so they're saying that about me, what are they looking for? They're looking for an experienced senior business analyst or lead business analyst. All right. Someone that's got strong knowledge of contemporary business and process analysis frameworks. Okay. Someone that's got high level of experience planning workshops and conducting sessions with large groups. Look, your job description, oftentimes it gives you that nice guide. It gives you that foundation of what you need to say to a recruiter. So if someone were to call me from RSCQ tomorrow to say, oh, Tayo, I saw your resume, I know exactly the keywords that I need to say to them. That even though the person is not a business analyst or the person knows nothing about the software development space, they're just looking for keywords. She talked about workshop. Okay, there's workshop there. Oh, she talked about process analysis framework. Okay, good. That's good. She's worked on complex project. All right, that's fine. She's mentored this. She's been part of she's participated in BA Cup. Instantly, you're first on the person's list. Most companies like this, when they call you, they're ready. They don't dilly-dally, they don't waste time. So it's extremely important that you do not just look at the figures, $900 per day, you just throw it in, you don't even know what the job is looking for. You cannot support something that you don't know. So there's no way you're going to be able to optimize your resume if you don't actually know what they're looking for. So it is extremely important that you read it. Now, why join RSCQ? So you read all of these things, all of this information as well. And once they call you, you know exactly what you need to tell them. See, they've done all of these amazing things. So I'll go and give it back to them on how I can come in and add value. What they offer, they've talked about all of the beautiful perks that they offer. You have yoga, you have EAP, you have all of these things. So, oh, sorry, that's gone off. So you have all of those information that you can work with. Oh, where's my seek gone to? All right, let's search again. So, you have all that information that is extremely key that you need to just keep in mind. If you don't read what they've put, you're not going to have enough information. You simply won't be able to defend it because you don't have enough details to carry out the work that you need to do. So please, I'm imploring all of us to kindly read the job description before we do anything at all. We need to read the job description and ensure that we have enough information for us to be able to optimize the resume at all. Did I lose the RSCQ job? Where are you? So I don't want to go to another one. I just want to. Does anyone have any question before I go into how we can then use Jobscan to get this to increase our chances of getting a call back? No questions? Any questions from anyone? Are we all, does it sound good to us? Is it sounding too like what's the word? Is it sounding too hard? Is it sounding too hard to do? What are we thinking? Talk to me, Tim. It's very quiet in here. I feel like
no, it's not. It's okay.
All right.
Catching up.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right, I think I lost the RSCQ job. Let's search for it. Can't find it. Yeah, can't find it anymore. All right, okay, I've got it here. So basically, this is the roles and responsibility. Now I'm going to do this nice exercise. We're going to go back to Jobscan. So I'm ready to apply to the RSCQ job. It's a senior business analyst role. I know what they're looking for. They're looking for someone that's got good understanding of requirements, someone that can develop business case, someone that's facilitated workshops, someone that's got business process analysis skills, and all of that amazing jazz that a BA does. Okay, what am I going to do to ensure that my resume is not just shooting blankly? I'm going to come to Jobscan. So there's LinkedIn Scan, there's jobs, like I previously mentioned, you can apply, you can search for jobs there as well. But just cognizant that they're not very recent, so I probably won't take them seriously. But it really depends. If it takes me to the job, you can still shoot your shot. You never know. So I mostly just focus on seek.com. And this is job tracker to see where you're at, scan history. So let's actually then scan for this job. Let's scan, let's do one exercise together. Please, I need everyone to please, fix your gaze on the computer. So you come to this place, create new scan, right? Or you click on it from here, anyone. So I'm going to do it from this place. So you can see two options there. It's telling me to upload my resume, and it's telling me that I can pop in the job description in this place. So I'm going to get the job description first of all. So which is, I need this information. So I want this information, I want this, then I want this. Based on what I've read, I think that I want to see what my resume is doing in terms of what they're looking for. Now, quick exercise that you can do before you do this, you can pop this on ChatGPT to tell it to please highlight 5 to 10 keywords for you. But in the interest of time, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to do Control C, and I'm going to go to Jobscan. So I'll pop in my job description here. So I have it here. I want to try and match my resume. So I've got just a dummy resume that I'm going to use. So I'll go and drag and drop. You can drag and drop the resume. You can just select it or whatever. You can copy the resume directly. So I'm going to do this. So this is my resume. I'm going to bring it here, and we're going to do a quick exercise to see where I'm at. So essentially what we want to find out is I want to see how I'm ranking against the job description. All right, so now that I've done that, I'm going to click on the Power Edit. So it says it is importing my resume and creating my match report. So another beautiful thing about Jobscan is it can help you with your resume formatting if you want. So this is just saying convert your resume into an ATS compatible template. So I will try and see if I see anyone that I like. You may or may not do this. It's completely up to you. But for the sake of this showcase, I will choose one that I think looks okay. So I'm going to choose the modern professional. Please note that when you do this scan, it may alter the formatting of your resume. So everything that you've itemized or listed, it may lump them together into a sentence. But the main goal is to naturally put in the keyword. And that's what we want to do. So please, it takes a bit of time. It's going to require a bit of your time, right? But it's all part of the process. And it's better to shoot 3 quality shots than sit down and throw out 20 applications that is not of good quality. So I'm choosing one of the ATS compatible template that Jobscan is offering me. All right, so it has changed my resume to this format. And look at my core skills. It has messed up my core skills, but I can fix all of that later. What I'm after is my resume optimized. So I'm going to do continue. Now, this Jobscan is telling me that I'm at a 48% match. Team, is 48 a good grade anywhere in the world? Is that a good grade? Is that
No, it's not.
No, it's
No.
not. So it's not even up to average. So what that is telling me is I need I still have a fair bit of work to do, which is fine. Look, Jobscan is very beautiful. From the very first time I knew Jobscan up until today, they've done really well in just improving the features. There's lots of AI implementation that just automate things that you don't have to do a lot of heavy lifting, like I previously mentioned. So I want to be a little bit extra with this one. So I want to put the company name, and I'm going to go and copy the company URL. So what that does is it provides me with some level of specificity, because Jobscan can actually look at it and try and match it more against what should be on my resume. So let's do that. So I'm going to update the details. And of course, you know that you can rewatch this video if we're moving too fast. So it's telling me that I'm still sitting on 48% and saying that I need to make recommended updates to my resume to reach a score of 75%. All right, what's the first thing that I do on this with this report that I have? So the report that I have in front of me is talking about, it says 10 of 13 skills are missing, hard skills, i.e. your technical skills. It's also telling me that 9 of 14 skills are missing. It has then highlighted a couple of things here that I can reward or do differently. Jobscan as well helps you to modify your sentencing, helps you to make it better, helps you to fine tune it. So you don't really have to, again, think about everything all by yourself. Jobscan will help you. So my goal is to get this resume to minimum of 85%, and we're going to do that together. So because I really want to understand what are the technical skills that my resume is missing, I'm going to click on it to find out what I'm currently lacking, and I'm going to include it in this resume naturally. I'm not just going to go and list all of these things on the core skills section. I'm going to try and read my resume and see how I can embed it naturally, and we're going to do that exercise together. So it's telling me that my resume currently does not showcase that I can build or develop a business case. It says that I have gathered requirements. So stakeholder management says my resume currently does not showcase that I've got stakeholder management skills. So I'm going to, naturally, we're going to do it together, and I'm going to work this into my resume naturally. So I have to read my resume. It's okay. I'm a certified business analyst with over 5 years of experience. So first of all, I'm going to change this to senior business analyst, because that is what the job is looking for. So once they see my resume instantly tells them I'm a match. I'm a senior business analyst as well. So I'm going to change that to senior business analyst. And it's also telling me that they only need 40 word max. Sometimes you can get away with this, right? But if I want to rephrase this, let's see what AI has got. So if this thing means it will rephrase the sentence for you and help you make it better, just like everything on this resume. If I just want to use AI to rephrase every single thing in a way that it's logical, in a way that it makes sense, it's going to help me. But before I do that, I want to try and see what can I do. So see, because I've put senior business analyst on my resume, the Jobscan has picked that up to say, okay, we're getting there, Tayo, well done. You're now at 56% because the job title is found on my resume, whereas before I had business analyst. So recall when I said, if it says analytical skills and strong analytical skills, they're not the same. Even though they mean like similar things, as far as ATS is concerned, we're looking for someone with strong analytical skills, but what you've displayed in your resume is you've got analytical skills. It's not strong. All right, so stakeholder management. Let's see what my description is saying. Is it possible for me to let them know from the get-go that I have developed business case in my experience and that I've got stakeholder management skills? All right, let's see. I'm a certified business analyst with over 5 years experience across various industries. My expertise spans the full software development process, from feasibility studies and requirement analysis to system testing and implementation. I have a proven record, particularly, okay. I have successfully translated, All right, my experience extends across various domains, including this. Proficient in utilizing various methodologies, including Agile, Confluent. Adept at facilitating collaboration between cross-functional teams and ensuring alignment with organization goals. Strong communication with a commitment to deliver high-quality solutions that exceed stakeholder expectations. All right, so I will try and ensure that I can put in a couple of these in my summary page in the first instance. Let me see what I can do. So they talked about stakeholder management, they talked about organizational change management, process analysis, requirement definition, all that good stuff. All right, perhaps I talked about a couple of things here. How can I embed this naturally without making it look like I just want to put something in a place that doesn't make sense? So I'm going to try and come here. I have a proven track record in technology deliveries, particularly within an agile software development framework. I've successfully managed. So because this is already gone past the word marks, I may come back to this one later. So let's see what I can do with what I have in my job description. So gathered requirements from multiple stakeholders, documenting them and obtaining sign-off. Okay. Gathered requirement from multiple stakeholders, documenting them and obtaining. So I want to rephrase because I don't really like what that looks like or sounds like right now. Collected, documented, and secured approval for stakeholder requirement. I actually don't like that either. I think it sounds a little bit funny. So I'm going to try and reword this to something else. Okay, so I'm going to say gather requirements from multiple stakeholders, documenting them. I know we've talked about this resume prior, the owner. So I'm going to change this, gather requirements from multiple stakeholders, I'm going to say something like gather requirement from multiple stakeholders. I'm going to say synthesized and validated requirement to ensure effective stakeholder management. So this is going to bump me to 60 because I have that keyword. Acknowledging that we're doing this a little bit in a spontaneous manner and it's a bit under duress, but that's sort of like the thinking that goes into what you would do if you wanted to do this. Do you understand? So it's going to has to come naturally. Now, it says analyzing business practices, evaluated solution options, identifying alignment to strategic objectives, benefit and risk. So I don't quite agree with the wording on this resume, but for the sake of what we're doing, I'm just going to try and see how we can bump this to 75 on how we can make this better. So analyzing business requirements. So there's no consistency. So are we speaking in past tense or are we speaking in present tense? So there has to be that consistency in your resume. So team, it's very important. If this says present, so that means you should be speaking in present continuous because you're telling them that you're still there, right? According to what you've got there is that you're still currently working there. So you want to try and you either stick to past tense or you stick with present continuous. You can't say analyzing and then come to say led or gathered. Do you understand? So again, because it's still going to end up with a human being, you want to ensure that there's readability, it's easy to follow. And you can use AI as well. You don't have to think about this, but I don't want to be jumping different screens to do this. So you can use ChatGPT to help you reward how you can put the keyword naturally. But I want us to get into the habit of just doing this more naturally and then leveraging AI, because sometimes you may not really get it may lose the meaning, really, like with ChatGPT, may lose the meaning. So this is rephrasing from it saying assess business strategies, evaluate solutions, identify strategic alignment, benefit. And okay, so I may accept this one and I'm going to remove the quotation and delete this for consistency. So assess business strategies, evaluated solutions, and identify strategic benefit and risk. So I'm going to add something there to say because it's saying project work. I don't think that that's critical, but I want to try and make it happy. So I'm going to try and just include that naturally. And that should bump me up a bit more to 65. So I want to try and business case development is quite key. So I want to try and look at this resume to see conducted high-level analysis. So this is talking about artifacts. So I might jump in here. Conducted high-level analysis. Please, I like to write, please write your artifacts in full. You can put the acronym in brackets, but don't just like put the acronyms as the main thing. Business requirement document. So you want to try and make sure you're writing things in full. It also helps with the keyword search because there's lots of requirements being spoken about in this job. Functional requirements. So I'm going to put that. And conducted high-level analysis, created business requirement, document, functional requirement document, and user stories. So I want to try and see if AI can rephrase this for me. Assess business, no, okay, that's the wrong one. So this one. So let's see if it can rephrase this for me. Performed high-level analysis and developed PRD. Okay, I haven't really like it. So I'm going to change conducted to performed high-level analysis. So I'm going to try and naturally say managed multiple projects. I'm going to say developed business requirement document. This is getting too long, but for the sake of time, I'm trying to see how we can do this naturally. So this should bump me up as well to 69, but I'm still not happy because I still have a lot of things to go. So let's go to my other job descriptions. I want to talk about my business case development skills. So showcase ability to lead end-to-end cross-discipline software, Yeah, there's a lot of errors in this resume. A lot of things are just jumping at me left, right, and center. But I think it's good for this exercise. So led agile scrum teams, leveraging this and that. All right, developed compelling business cases supporting the implementation of identified solutions. Okay, so I'm going to change this because this is just taking space and I need the algorithm to know that I have proficiency in business case development. So let me see what AI has got so I see how I can embed that. Let's see. Created business cases for solution implementation. Okay, I still don't like that. So I'm going to say something like, so I'm going to change everything and say played a pivotal role in business case development, scope management, development, and decision paper to facilitate, to provide for. So I'm just making things up here, but when I'm trying to communicate it, it has to be logical. For the pivotal role in business case development, scope management development, and decision paper to inform strategic or to provide, let's say to provide clarity of project objectives All right, to stakeholders. Okay, so that should bump me up a little bit more to 73. So I've got manage risk, process analysis. This is quite easy. So let me see if I've spoken about anything risk in my project. So this is really like the exercise that needs to go down is not just to just put in the keyword, is to try and embed it naturally. Developed process notation and other process modeling techniques, including flowcharts, swim lanes, and process flows to model complex. Okay, so I want to talk about manage risk. I think I saw something about risk previously on the top. So it's really that detailed work that needs to go into you being able to embed all of these keywords naturally. Let me see what she's got in this place. So Lee has conducted detailed assessment. All right, I'll make something up because I don't have time. So let's do this. Facilitated fortnightly risk workshop with project SMEs to manage risk issues. How many of us have heard of RAID? Issues and have you all heard of RAID? Anyone in the room? Have you all heard of RAID? The RAID log. Tim, are we still here?
Yes, I think.
You think? Okay, what's RAID log? What's a RAID log?
It's a document that gives information about what was the information? Because I remembered our Scrum Masters had access to it. They were telling us we should help them fill the RAID log when you send.
Yeah. All right, Mark.
I think it's an acronym.
Yes.
You mentioned it in the last video, in the last section you did. Risks, interdependencies.
Good.
Yeah. So it's an acronym. I've forgotten the full, but R stands for risks.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Thanks for trying. Anyone?
It's a document that highlights the risks, actions, issues, and dependencies.
Thank you. So again, you may find yourself in an interview where they're talking about, because this particular job ads, they were very specific on the type of workshops. So they said they were looking for someone that, where is it? Proactively identify, assess, and manage risk and issues impacting BA deliverables, ensuring project success. So they're very specific. You could go into this interview and they could ask you, so can you tell us your risk management approach when working on a project? Do you understand? The RAID log is quite popular. Some companies keep it, they keep their risk activities in a platform called Adaptive. But for the sake of this session, your RAID log is your risk, actions, issues, and dependencies. Some people may spell it, you may see the RAID like this, or you could see, it depends on the organization. In my company, we keep this with a double I. Some other companies just keep the RAID, for my project specifically. So it's risk, actions, issues, interdependencies, and dependencies. So really what that does is, when you facilitate this risk workshop, you keep it in a central log that helps you to identify what's the type of this risk. Is it a delivery risk or is it a delivered risk? What are the risk mitigation controls that we're putting in place? Who is the risk owner? What are the causes? What are the impacts? What are the drivers of this risk? So you would keep it like similar to what we shared with you for the Judging Solutions team. It's oftentimes in an Excel or depends on the maturity of the organization. Some people keep it adaptive. It's a tool that where you can see holistic view. It is less manual than Excel. So you oftentimes cannot talk about risk management without talking about the RAID log, because it just gives you that holistic view of, okay, these are the issues that we have on this project. Before a risk turns to an issue, then that means it's massive, it's gone to the boards, it's gone to the execs, like we've determined this is no longer a risk, it is actually an issue that needs to be attended to, ASAP. So please remember that. In the interest of time, so it's telling me that I'm ready to apply, but I'm not still satisfied with this. So I'm going to try and see, it's telling me my soft skills. So let's see what is missing in my soft skills. So mentoring, accountability, business analysis, attention to detail, ability to communicate, mentoring. Okay, so I will go to my summary. Let's see what I can pop into my resume. Attention to detail. So let's see what I currently have. So if I was doing this realistically, if I wanted to apply for this, I'll definitely delete all of this. And my name is missing on this. How did I delete the name? Okay, there's meant to be a name there. So there's meant to be, let's say, so your resume needs to have your name. In case someone watches this and think, oh, maybe we're not meant to have our name. All right, so yes, I'm assuming that we all have an optimized LinkedIn. Please, if your LinkedIn is not optimized, please do not put it on your resume, okay? It doesn't do your recruiter any service if you just have like LinkedIn that talks about your experience working in care or your experience working on irrelevant experience. So basically, I know that our time is fast spent. I really want to let you guys go, but this is 78. Yes, Jobscan is saying that I'm good to go, but I would work towards 85. I would try and put in, so professional growth and development, it's not very critical in my opinion. Process analysis, organizational change management, because that is part of who they're looking for. I would try and talk about how I've supported or how I've done some change management activities. I will try and include it in this resume. So 9 of 14 skills are missing as well. Mentoring, ability to communicate. I can change this to say something around ability to communicate effectively. Again, please remember, you can quickly use ChatGPT to do all of these things, to do it, but in a natural way, not too rigid and to the point where the word is actually losing its meaning. My ability to communicate effectively. The whole wording is wrong, but I'm just going to take assumption here. Ensured has helped. So that should bump me up a bit more now. So it's calculating it, should bump me to 79. So I'll keep doing that naturally to ensure they're looking for someone with attention to detail. They're looking for someone that's quite independent. So because remember, this is a lead role. They said they're looking for someone who can stand alone, deliver a project, extensive experience as a senior business analyst or lead analyst. So I need to display to them that I can work independently with limited support, I can take initiative. And if I was to talk to this recruiter, I would not say we. I would not be using the we in that interview. I would be genuinely talking about how I've led or how I've independently worked across multiple projects in my experience. I'm going to leave it at this today. Does anyone have any questions? So I'm currently sitting at 79, but like I said, I still would not apply with this 79. I will try and bump it to 85. There's a lot of things that can be done to this resume. Chucky.
All right, thank you. You've really spoken a lot, but it's not a question. I just want to kind of share a little bit of story. I don't know if there is time, just of an encounter I had with someone about 3 or 4 days ago. So I don't know if that's okay for me to
Yeah, by all means, yeah, very quickly.
Okay, thank you. I met a friend of mine. Actually, she first did a business analysis for quite a while. So she has the first job she got was a contract job. She worked for 6 months. Then it got finished. Then after about few months, about 1 or 2, she now got a good job, like a good one. So I come across her. So I was like asking, just normal thing. Hey, how far? How is the job going? How far? So like, just to hear from her, how is everything? So the first thing I asked her, how is it? So she told me that the first word she used was a little bit shocking. Please, I'm not saying this to discourage anybody, just to share an encounter. So it was like she regretted using a 5 years experience in her CV. So that really shocked me. I was like, why are you saying so? Yeah, you have a good job. He said, yeah, that if she have known, she have trying to work her way down upwards. I said, what do you mean? Like you are there already. So she she got the job, she's happy, but like the job load and everything, she's having is really killing her because of why she can't really keep up, and it looks like she's losing track. So, on that discussion, I was like, but it's not something you can keep up with maybe with your team or whatever, in any way. But she was like, it's not, maybe, I think maybe because of the environment she is, but she was like, the whole thing is really killing her at the moment. The job load, sometimes the thing she is kind of encountering, she totally have no idea of it and everything. So that really got me thinking. I was like, is it something that happen frequently or just
Chucky. Oga Chucky.
Yeah.
When you get your job, you are going with an army. Huh?
Okay.
So when you can't, take the part, you got a good job, that's fine. The job load is there, that's fine. If she's struggling, she doesn't have the right mentorship and support, that's why she's struggling, right? In your own case, you get the job, and let's see, you have us, you're going with an army of people, so there's no struggle for you. We have so many people that have been, that are working, as you know. Do they have challenges? They do. They reach out and we brainstorm. They're fine. They move. They continue their work. That is what, again, you can train. But if you're trying to do something that is new, even if there are some junior role that will stress you like crazy. It's a function of the environment you find yourself and the type of project it's not a function of, oh, I got a senior role. Some senior role you'll be lounging. Senior means I'm not really into the details of every, you get the operations of the thing. Is more of strategy. But some organization, the junior role is what will even kill you. So don't use one person's experience and be feeling like, oh, should I be doing junior role? Should I be doing? We have people that did transition and got principal business analyst role, right? There are many people that have gotten senior business analyst role. You've just seen one 3 days ago or 2 days ago. So the point is your project, is the project you're working on that will detect how much load you have. The difference for you is that you're going with an army. Whether, you said she's struggling with different things. Does she have support system to guide her and say, this is what you should do, this is what you should do? That reduces stress for you. You're doing something that you've not done for a long time. And if the project is challenging, then you struggle. But when you have the right support, you will not struggle, because if I tell you do something like this, it will definitely work, at least in my experience. and collating experience of all our student alumni and all of that. So you don't have anything to worry. You don't need to worry about getting the job. Get the job. Nobody, at least by God's grace, in skills, has been let go for performance issue. All our students are still in their job. They've changed job voluntarily to chase other opportunity, bigger roles and things like that. Don't say, oh, I need to go and start a junior role. Some junior role will stress you more than senior role. That's the fact. So have conversation with people, and that's why we do YouTube, we do podcasts, we do all these things. Hear from actual people who are doing the job. Don't take one person's story and run with it. We have people on our own channel. Go and talk to all of them. What's your experience? What's your own experience? What's your own experience? They have challenges just like any other job, but they get support. So don't run with one person's experience and feel like I should not apply for big roles. Let me just start. Let me play it safe. Don't play it safe. Get the biggest role. Those are even the roles that will give you peace of mind. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Please don't be discouraged. The fact that you put 5 years in your resume, or the fact that you put 6 years or resume, is not the core thing. Is, do you have that community of support? Do you understand? Do you have the skills to do the job? So that's the most important thing. And let's be careful of the experiences that we run with as well. You take what you can learn, but let that not be a determinant factor to discourage you. All right, so team, thank you so much for writing with us. Does anyone have any questions? Are we feeling comfortable?
Yeah.
Are we feeling confident to be able to go out after this session? I want to see a lot of people on the job scan. Like I said, I can see all the people using it. I want to see everyone on the job scan. I want to see you focusing on apply jobs, not solely quick applies are jobs you do when you're on dates with your partner, like when you're just, maybe in calls, job pops up, you just quickly pop it in. But when you're ready for a sit down in front of your computer application, it shouldn't just be just quick apply, just one click, pop it in there. It's going into a repo that will just by luck, someone may pick it up or not, but specific targeted applications are the ones that take you to the company's career page. Those ones you can be rest assured that they may, like, the guarantee is high. They call you, but like I've said, when they call you, what are you saying to them? What do you want to say to them is another important question I need to ask yourself. Does anyone have any questions now before I take your comment? Any questions, any comment, any clarification required? Silas?
No questions from me. Thank you very much for this session. And I just want to say one thing. When Chucky brought up that story, I wanted to ask a question before he brought it up, but it's similar to what he said. Yeah. And the answer Noah gave kind of, gave me another confidence. And he was like, you go with an army or something like that. So I wanted to ask, hey, when we get this senior, because I'm not even looking at junior business, I'm looking at the principal business. Now, if there's something like that, I'm looking for that one. Yeah. So I wanted to ask, what if we luckily get this position? Can we come back and be like, hey, we need a hand? What are they saying? Can you guys help us and all that? So, but now that he said that, I'm confident that even if I know I'm gonna get the job soon. Yeah. And once I do, I can always come back and get some pointers. So yeah, thank you very much.
So please, team, for your information, everyone, we offer job support. We legit offer 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. What we do, this is the approach. When you get the job, someone from the team will then call you. Can you please tell me about the project that you're working on? That's the structure. We get you in another session where you tell us about the project that you're working on. We troubleshoot. And then if you have any questions or if you have any concerns, we're on Slack. That's why we have Slack. We also have a community on WhatsApp as well, where you can always pop in. I mean, we've been in sessions even on notable events. Like birthdays, wedding anniversaries. We've been in sessions where we're actually giving people support on what they need to do for their project. People have called us, oh, I'm going into this workshop. This is what I have planned. What do you think? Do you have anything that you want me to add? Do you have anything that you want me to delete? Do you understand? So we're always there. And genuinely, yes, Noah meant what he said. When I say you're going with an army, there's myself, there's Tosin, there's Noah, there's like every other people that are currently working as well, always willing to support. The danger is keeping quiet. So when you get the job, even this process as you're applying, there's a lot of silence in the room. Please don't keep to yourself. You are experiencing any difficulties, speak to us. This is what you've applied today. Troubleshoot things. Be in the system. Don't be so far away. Ad hoc interview prep don't work. You can't go into an interview with zero level of preparation and expect some form of magic to happen. It won't work that way. So yes, Mr. GMX, we're there with you. Like when you get the job, from congratulations to, so yeah, which project are you working on? We have that session. We have day one session, a session that prepares you for what you need to have in mind on your day one. What's going to happen? How do you speak to them? How do you approach them? What are the things that you need to keep in mind? We have series of recorded sessions of that one, but we always have a live session with everyone that's gotten a job. We call it the day one pack. So we just equip you with what you need to keep in mind. And then post day one, once you've been onboarded onto your project, you still have us. Oh, this is the project objective. This is what I'm working on. You give us that context. We provide you, advice or provide you insight, or, we give you a thumbs up that you're well done.
And I just hope everyone knows this, like others know this.
Well, I hope so, because the information is, we talk about this time on time, but I'm saying it again now. So for everyone, saying it really loud and clear, when you get the job, you are literally going with an armies. You are going with armies, like, with that.
That should be a mantra.
So let me give you guys an insight that we don't talk about this part a lot because you're not at that stage yet. That's why maybe some of you are getting it confused. We're doing this because we want to replicate ourselves, right? So we want to build so many armies so that I call GMX and say I have a new business analyst. It's not just me that's going to be helping them. It is GMX helping a couple of new guys that have gotten job after you, right? To get them and share your experience and all of that. If you're on our WhatsApp, our community WhatsApp, you can have conversations with, at least some of them. You are on Slack. You've seen some of those guys that have gotten, ask them. Like, I even support people that are not even our student, talk less of our own student, right? So please, you have nothing to worry about. All we want you to do right now, you've done the phase of learning, is about putting in the work to do this well, so you can get your job and do interview prep that we offer. Hopefully everybody know we offer that. You do that, you have the best preparation to get a job, and you can see there's no magic. You do all these things, you get a job. Now, I know this can be very time consuming at the start. There are smart ways. Today, there are a lot of AI tools that help you. This line by line in your CV, you can literally prompt ChatGPT well to help you rephrase, add this keyword, write a business analyst role and description to match this job description, adding keywords, adding metrics, adding, quantifiable results. It will generate it for you in seconds. So you don't need to manually write all of this. What you now do is to now look at it. Does it make sense based on what Tyler was doing? Like, you will just be refining the response, because as you know, ChatGPT can be very robotic at the end of the day if you don't prompt it well, especially. So what you'll be doing is to refine the result to fit in a humanized response in your resume, right? But then you see that your keyword, you do this like in 10 minutes, because first you've matched your keyword with the job description using ChatGPT and everything. Then you would humanize it using your own personal touch. Bam! Your resume is optimized 90-95%. The reason why we've gone through this process that can be time consuming is for you to gain appreciation of the process, not just shortcut, go and use ChatGPT, this and that, and not knowing that you need to actually sit down and rephrase these things. Remember, as you do this, you also learn more, which is important. There's no how you sit down, you're doing this thing and you not learn more. This thing sticks in your mind. The things that you are not really familiar with, you start to do more research on it, you know, and then that would help you succeed. If you can do these 3 solid applications in a day, as we've said, and this one is not even my formula, it's from somebody from our ex-student, right? For me, I say 10. Like if you're crazy about it, like you should be doing 10 per day. Really. You do that, you get interviews, and now it is a function of what do I do with that interview. That's where our interview prep comes into play. Some of you have not been attending, you know, and we've had to cancel this week to prepare for this session, to rejig your mind and get your commitment back on the high. We want to start to see job offers from this set next month maximum. You can do it. You just need to rephrase, like you need to optimize your resume, do interview prep, and you go and get your job offer. That's the thing you need to do right now. So you have support continuously till you never need support anymore. Like we have people that are 1 year, 6 months on the job. They still call us and say, hey, I have this scenario. What do you think? They brainstorm ideas, which is fine. That it won't even take long because at least you have your base skills. If I tell you, oh, do this and this, do this, write this requirement like this, add this requirement like this, you will not say, oh, what is requirement? What is functional requirement? Oh, what is elicitation technique? At least I'm hoping nobody will be asking me, oh, what is elicitation technique here? All right, that's it, guys.
Silas, I see your hand up. Was that from before?
Yeah, that's from right now. I just wanted to know, how do you finally finish the job scan, and where does your document get saved?
Yeah, you can still see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so I was trying to do some work in the background, just bumping it to 91. Look, the reason I didn't go ChatGPT route, you know, to Noah's point, is because it's going to give you a lot of robotic response. It loses the depth, and at the end of the day, you don't understand what you have on your resume. This process helps you to read it, learn it. You know exactly, if they say someone from RSCQ, you've done this exercise, you know the buzzwords that you need to pop into them. So to your question, Silas, so you can download it. So you download which one you want, PDF and Microsoft Word. So I always recommend downloading MS Word. So in case I need to fine tune things locally, so I can realign things such that when it gets to a human table, it's nice to read. But at least I have a template. I have what I need to do. You know, everything is, yeah. So I would take this to Word to go and realign it and just make it better. That's what I would do. Did that answer your question? Silas?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see. Just proceed. I
I
think
just
I'll
downloaded
have
it. So this is it. So this literally, that's it. Resume, senior business analyst, and then it goes into your folder.
on my folder. But on JobScan, I saw that Emmanuel BA
Yeah, it's because it saves
there.
it. It's help because from a track changes perspective, it saved the work that you've done. So if you wanted to pick that up for another job,
Yeah.
this is good. This is optimized now. So if you're coming to for another job, you can literally start from here. So it saves the work that you've done.
Yeah, because I used JobScan and I never saw my document there. I don't know if you saw it from your side.
Yeah. So you download it. This should be on your local. So this is on my file. You'll find it there. Grab it and put it, use it in different job applications. All right. Let me know if you encounter any problems. Okay.
All right.
All right, Uche.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Okay, I just wanted to say something, even if I know maybe Noah or Ty or this will come from me. Um, I think if we're gonna have sections like this, we've just discussed purely project. I think it's gonna be very beneficial to like everyone because if I can talk for myself, um, I've had a few interviews, like I haven't had one today, and sometimes you just like to drill me a lot in terms of projects. So when I get to learn like the basic, then they're asking me questions like things that are just too technical, and then I'm like, oh, sorry, what did you say? So I don't know if there's a way we can just like have conversations or talk about real like projects, like the ones you guys have done, what you guys have come across, and I just feel like it's going to go a long way to help because it's one thing to really have a good resume, but then most of these recruiters really focus on projects, mostly when you've written you have 5 years experience and things like that. Yeah.
All right. So Uche, I'm going to come to Richland actually. I think we're going to fight. We've had real life project sessions. You know that. Let's be honest. We've had real life project sessions. Your interview was not technical at all. What simply happened with your interview was there was very, 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 very limited preparation for that session. So they asked you
No,
about.
I had one today and it was
Did we know?
majorly,
Did you tell us?
it was impromptu.
Which
Like if from our conversation, like me and you.
oh, like
if I had
oh, just was it just
very
was it
so
an
they called
initial conversation or actual interview?
it actual interview because I got the email like 5:30, 6 p.m. yesterday and I saw it late at night that I was referred for a job. So I didn't even apply for it. You get and then they said they really had availability today because they're about to make a decision. So it was really, really impromptu for me, to be honest. So that's why you don't know about it.
So how was the application? Sorry, how was the interview?
It was good, I would say, but I don't know. The guy just kept on drilling me on technical because he kept on saying technical projects. And I'm like, guy, I've given you applications, I've given you what's it called? Like inventory. Oh, I did a new transformational process flow for a retail company. I had to use text to do this thing, but then he just kept on asking me for technical things. And I was like,
what? Like what? What are the technical things?
It was saying, okay, yes, I understand you, but can you give me more in-depth technical projects you've done?
Yeah, Uche, but so if it's the same explanation that you currently know, so it's not, we had this conversation. So it doesn't have that, even the pitch that I sent, I read it. So it doesn't have that level of details that provide enough clarity to anyone. So the person probably is not wording it well. So when they say technical, what did you do? Your pitch currently doesn't have anything about your requirement gathering skills, doesn't have anything about your user stories, doesn't write anything about gathering, writing requirement, doesn't have anything about your functional requirement document, it's lacking like those things. So, and that's what that person is referring to. Now,
so in my elevator pitch, am I supposed to give like in-depth details of those things?
The project that you wrote. So it doesn't quite have what you did. It has the information, like the first one doesn't have enough information at all because even I'm reading, I'm like, okay, we need to have a chat about it. Do you understand? But future proven now, there's not that level of preparation yet to provide to convince a recruiter that you've got so much information for them. Like you're not giving them enough information to roll with. And when I started this call, I said, any of these things do not matter if you're not prepared. A recruiter can call you at any time. What you do in this waiting stage is going to determine what happens when they call you. So a lot of people sit and wait till last minute. Well, they're not calling me. I've put in 15 applications. No one is calling me. I'm not going to do anything. Then suddenly someone calls you from the blues, but you're not ready. You haven't been preparing because you gave up on yourself. When they call you, you're not going to be in a position to say, sorry, Tayo, can I take one more day to prepare? That's not going to happen, but we can learn from it. So hopefully you documented the questions that they asked you. We can rejig it. That's a learning process for you. I think that there's beauty in that, really. There's beauty in just you being in that position that you've heard or you've seen real questions, we can take that forward and learn, and of course build things better. To your previous point around let's do sessions like this, we have lots of different interview prep sessions every single day, except this week, which was the week for the task that we sent out to you guys. There's project session as well. I will reshare those project sessions with you. Tosin ran a session where we talked about those clinical governance, lots of different healthcare related projects. Noah had a session where we talked about literally all the projects in the tool prep kit and broke it down. Do you understand? But I hear what you're saying. The Mondays and Tuesday sessions is meant to give us what you're looking for. So
I'm just curious, Uche, what do you like what I just have to be blunt at this stage, right? So that we can what do you think we do in interview prep? You decided that you wanted to do interview prep with external stakeholder, which is all these people you are talking to, than us. I'm not sure you've done one interview prep with us, Uche.
Well, I've not done with you guys, but I come to listen most times.
No. Did you go and listen in the interview you went to today?
Like I said, I told you I didn't know I was gonna have an interview today.
Yeah, that's it. Now you can't. The interview will come like a thief in the night. Like there are times where you have influx, and there are times where it will be dry a bit. That's the way it is. The point is, what am I doing in my waiting stage? When you're planting that interview, I told you in person as well. This interview, I'm not worried. It will come. That opportunity will come. What do we do with it? I'm not confident you've not done an interview prep where we say, yes, the story is right, the project is right. Yesterday I was happy. I said, Uche has sent a resume. I was telling the team, she has sent a resume, elevator pitch. Yeah, Uche is back. We didn't even know you have an interview. Now, we should not treat interview like, even if it's impromptu, we should know. We are your best bet to prepare optimally. To be honest, we are if we gave you some insight, it can make the difference. Trust me, you need to, you have interview, you need to let us know. You need to come for interview prep and give it a go. This conversation you're asking for is that's why we have a standard interview prep session, so that it is not ad hoc. When just anything that does not meet preparation would fail. So if they call you impromptu and the preparation is not there, what will happen? So, but imagine that you've done interview prep for 1 month straight. I tell you, Uche, you would have landed 2 offers, or at least 1 already. It's so clear. The formula for us, and let me use this opportunity to remind everybody, the contract we have, please, you do the training. All of you have done it beautifully. You've upskilled. But it doesn't stop there. We need to be frank. You have to revise that thing. I think I mentioned it almost every other week during you need to revise that thing like 3 times to get it. Now, when you revise it so much, it becomes part of you. And I bet you go to the job and shine, because that's all what you'll be doing. Now, the other thing that is our social contract is that you apply this resume strategy we have explained. We've sent you the video. We've done another live one. Please apply it. You will get interviews. Now, what would get you the job is interview prep, because in that session we go through. Can you imagine how many interviews that we've seen or we've supported people on? No, just imagine how many. Imagine how many of you are on the call already for just this cohort, and your cohort is cohort 7. So please, we know what we are doing. We know the questions they'll be hovering around. So we've done interview prep severally, aggregating knowledge. Like I was having conversation with somebody, a business analyst. He says, my approach is, when I want to do something, I go to the people who have done that thing so that I save time. I learn from their experience. We are telling you interview prep based on many experiences of people we've supported that have gotten job and real questions that we've gotten from that process, and telling you what is a good answer and not, what you need to refine, and giving you a practice ground. Like there's nobody here that is not at least familiar with each other. So we are not like hiding from each other. That's why I'm saying I want to be frank with you. Like if you don't come and give it, you can't listen. It's not Netflix. It's a boring Netflix movie. You just come here and listen to interview. Yes, you learn passively as well. But it is when you're actively saying those words, making the mistake, doing it again, doing it again. I know your business. Tell me in your first year doing that business and now, is it the same learnings you've had? No, definitely not. You are a guru in that thing now because you've invested so many hours. You know how to do things efficiently. You can close your eyes and do makeup and do it now. Why? Because of the time you gave it. The same thing for interview prep. Unfortunately, we don't have magic. You need to put in the work. Like everybody in your environment must be sick of you. Like this man, this woman just talks about business analysis. Like they must ask Tosin, ask Tayo when they were transitioning. Right? If Tayo gives me permission, I will send you a first interview. And if she talks now, she can talk to the CEO of her company as a business owner, and they will feel like, oh my God, you've been doing it for 10 years. Why? She knows that, okay, I'm not doing it for 10 years like Noah, but I'm doing it for this year. So I need to put in the hours and grind. She has a book. It's a book that we refer to and say, wow, this is a trophy transition book with question, answer, and things like that. So now tell me, the question is, how many hours are you spending on refining your story, preparing for tell me about yourself, prepare for project? Thank God, I like the feedback you gave. They are hammering you on the project. How many times have we talked about how project is important? I've had a 3-hour session walking through different projects, 9 options. Yesterday at 10:30 p.m., I was still on a call with Fisayo, walking through project, explaining project, right? So that project is the bedrock of how you get a job, because everything you do as a business happen within the realms of a project. Why they hire you is because they want to come and work on a project. So if you've not told them like how you've added value on your project, how would they hire you? They can't. They really cannot. So it's a combination of having robust answer, general business analysis, question, answers, and then nailing your project, and then doing that repeatedly. Every day you should wake up, record, tell me about yourself, come for interview prep, deliver, get feedback, refine it. Trust me, you do that for 1 month straight. Whenever any recruiter calls you, you will speak to them closing your eyes. When you go for interviews, you will say, tell me about yourself. You tell them you have 15 years experience, they will never doubt you, because it's so sweet and refined and has depth and the right information that they'll be like, oh my God, we'll be insane. Somebody had told Tayo, I witnessed it, said, it will be insane not to hire you. Even though you are not in Victoria, I would fight that battle. It would be insane not to hire you, because she couldn't come to work in Victoria. And I've sent interview prep, real one, on Slack. Tayo would deliver, tell me about yourself, and they will say, oh, you have answered 3 other questions that we have. Oh, let's go to the next one. Because of the kind of depth. So if you've refined your question answer like obsessively, right? You know when you're obsessed with it, and you go there and deliver it. In fact, they will tell you, oh, you've answered so much. Thank you. You've answered everything. It will not be about hammering. Do you know why it's hammering you? say technical. It's because he's not satisfied with the depth of what you gave him. You can always tell. It's just like somebody come to tell you about your air operation business and stuff, and they are giving you surface level answer. You be quizzing them now, like, what is frontal? What is this? You like, I don't know that space, but you know the kind of question you be asking. It is very clear. The formula is be obsessed with this journey, because you're doing something that people literally do masters and still come back here or on other platform to go and learn, because you don't even learn things in masters. There are people that are PhD that still come back that we've supported. So the formula is simple. Be obsessed with what you've learned, revise it, obsessed with applying, be obsessed with your interview prep, telling the story in a way that will be convincing. And that's why we have a stable cadence for that. Mondays, Tuesdays, just show up. Sometimes 2 people will show up, 3 people will show up. Sometimes 40 minutes, one person will now try to join. It's discouraging. Thank you.
Thank you, Noah.
So let's get to work. Really, 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 confident, Uche. We get to work, we beat this. We just need to do the work. It's not going to happen by chance. It's not going to happen by luck. Anything that you're not rehearsing or practicing or even looking at yourself or putting yourself under the hot seat to simulate that experience, it's impossible. So please, let's get to work. Does anyone have any other questions?
Sorry, Uche, we can have a session. Let's walk through your project. I'm happy to I'm happy to have a session with you. What am I doing on Saturday morning? Let's chat about when you're free. All right?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Because you'll be getting more interviews now. Let's go with the best preparation. And not just Uche. If anybody is free, let's do early Saturday morning. I don't like to do this on Saturday, but I have to at this stage. Let's walk through another project session. But please all remember that there's a session on YouTube that you can always refer to. We spent 3 hours walking through those projects. Start from there. But yeah, let's talk about that.
All right. So in order to get the best value from that session, and no, I don't think it's going to be a valuable session, you just talking through the list. You all need to come with your project. So I'm not sure, we'll have to choose a date and time that actually works. I don't know, as mentioned Saturday, but I have to double check. But really, you need to come to that session with the project that you've written out. So we can then troubleshoot and say, okay, let's include this information. I don't think it's going to be of too much value because you have a video where we've run through the project ideas. Come with what you've penned down, write it in first person. Please don't write your project collaborated with, gathered with. Write your project like you're writing a story. I worked with a team of XYZ and I've facilitated workshop to ensure that we're able to XYZ. So write it in first person, write it the way that you say it out to people. So when you read it, you're reading it, you're not reading abstract. So the wording is there. So the way that you want to approach this is all of your questions are written in first person, question and answer. Tell me about the time that you facilitated the workshop. You write it the way you want to say it. Thank you so much, Noah, for that question. In my experience working as a business analyst, looking back at my last project where I worked on delivering a digital banking platform, I did this, I did that. That's the way you want to pen it down in first person in a storytelling way. So that way you're taking the same approach to your interview rather than tell me about the time you facilitated the workshop. Yeah, sent out meeting invite, scheduled meeting, did this and that, validated, and it's not inspiring. You're not going to forget. You're not going to have like robust information to provide to the recruiter. But when you pen things down and type them down, as the case may be, in first person, writing it in the way that you say it to a recruiter, you get to think about it as well. So please, when we send out invite to that project schedule session, Uche is first on this because she sent a project. The focus would be on the project that you sent, and it would be a practical session where we're rewarding it. But I don't think that at this stage, given the resources that we've created, it would be a valuable session to recreate that and come with your own project 1, project 2, project 3, based on the interview tool prep kit that we've prepared. Write it in first person, itemize it. What was your objective? What was the MVP? What was your role as a business analyst? What were some of the issues that you encountered on the project? We will then talk about that and try and see how we can make it better. So that is your own standard, your template for life. 5 years time, tell me about the project that you worked on where you were working with this company. You know it, and it is written in first person. Storytelling approach. That is how you want to document it. With your elevator pitch, with everything has to be documented in first person. So please, team, I know that our time is very, very much fast spent, but this is extremely important. So let's get to work. If anyone does not have any questions, I think we'll may cap it at this. No, I think I saw you on mute previously.
Yeah, please go through the project recording. We will share the link. Go and refresh. Please watch it again. You get a lot of context. Then prepare your own project and let's come and have conversation about it, right? So we can point you. See, our method works like every time. I'm telling you. You just need to invest time to it and you get a job and forget about seeing our face until you need support. Right? So thank you.
Yeah, just one last now to say, honestly, we should be past the stage of tell me about yourself, tell me about the project that you worked on, right? We should be dealing with all the other stuff that accompanies an interview, all those other basic questions. That's what we should be dealing with now. There's so much content that we've delivered in relation to tell me about your project. So like Tayo said, please just get your tell me about yourself ready, get your project ready. We can review it and yeah, we'll carry on from there. Because yeah, I don't think it's good value for now to actually arrange the session and say the same thing that we've been saying multiple times again. Yeah, so yeah, you guys really need to get on this.
Okay, team, thank you all so much for your time. Please let this not be another 100 steps forward and then 1,000,000 steps backward, please. I want to see a lot of traction on the job scan. When I share the recording of this video, I'll share the job scan details. I really want to see all of you guys pop yourself, on the job scan. It's new financial year. There's lots of jobs opening. You want to position yourself, but most importantly, you want to be ready. You don't want to be in a call with a recruiter and they're hounding you. Like you don't want to be hounded. Do you understand? You want to go there and deliver quality. This thing. It's just all about the delivery and the approach. If I don't have it structured, I don't have it penned down in the first person approach, it's going to be hard for you to deliver it. But if you write it down the way you want to say it, write it down the way you want to say it. The way I will say it to a recruiter, if they say, tell me about the time you dealt with a difficult stakeholder, what is your experience, during cutover planning, all those things. You write it down. Oh, this is what I did. So that way, when you read it, it's like you're delivering it. And I said again, record it on your phone. Rather than listen to music, maybe for Davido or music or whiskey lovers, listen to yourself and see how you're delivering the pitch. I listen to myself a lot of times and say, nah, that, even for just normal stuff, like when I go for presentations or something, I record it, I prepare. I try and say, okay, I don't like the way that was worded. I need to restructure it. There's no energy in my voice. I was sounding very tiny and sounding. So all those things, you get to assess yourself. Your assessment starts from you and starts with that interview prep as well. So please, guys, attend interview prep. From next week, start applying. The recruiters will start calling you. This time of the year is hot cake. There's lots of companies trying to re-strategize, looking for more talent. So guys, we're leaving money on the table every single day that we're not putting out application, every single day that we're not preparing. Let's stop doing that. All right. If there are no questions anymore, I'll leave you guys to go and have a good night. Thank you for joining this session, and we hope that in the coming days, in the coming weeks, we will be troubleshooting which contract you need to sign by God's grace. All right. Thanks, everyone.